Like,
So just know it's hot mics.
Pennsylvania, York, everybody grew up, and everybody's
That's it.
family grew up, and
What's going on, Pink? Can you hear me?
I'm like,
Yeah, I can hear you.
talking about some gang banging and all this. I'm like,
Mm-mm.
damn straight. Are you serious? Like West Side,
That's the
South
pause.
Side.
Take
Like,
that off.
y'all break everything from each
Yeah,
other.
look what we on.
I'm just like, nope, I'm just like running babies.
Did I look that out of shape yesterday?
You play with the 4-on-4?
Yeah. I think I looked that out of shape, man. I was back every time.
Nah, he's so fast.
But
he's so fast though. That's the
Oh, he's fucking extremely fast. He was laughing at him as as he's running full speed, running past everybody.
yeah, just
I
like
was
Just
gonna
laughing.
say,
Who's the rock?
living.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, you gotta turn the volume down. Yeah,
I
so
like
we got that going. And then we ready to go, man.
Being that I'm here right now, I'ma go and get it right now, then commit it right now. I'ma do some shit that's gonna uplift a bunch of people's spirit right now, help them heal it right now. I'ma get them riches right now. Work plan, manifest, be speak that shit into existence right now. Can't slow down, got the vision wrote down, cause I seen it, man, I'm on right now. Focus in the motherfuckers where I'm in the zone right now. Ain't no later, dog, it's only right now.
And it's only right now.
It creates.
Right now.
No past, no future right now. All I got is right now. No past, no future right now. All I got is right now. Fuck what they did to me, gon' do, cause all I get is right now. Fuck what they did to me, gon' do, cause all I get is right now. So I focus on that when I can focus on now. Pull up at a beach on the outskirts of town. Enjoy the view and give thanks to the truth. And I go hit the yo just to shut that bitch down.
And I'm high right now. So alive right now. Clear skies right now. Living my life by my own rules. I feel what I choose.
Straight and narrow, but it's just straight and narrow. Do it now. It's gonna take some work, okay? And I'm right back at it. Divine alignment, fully automatic. I don't think about it. I just watch it happen. I just move toward it and I get supported. When I try to force it, it just get distorted. So I dance with it. Crystals all in my pants with it. Healing all in my hands with it. I'm an alchemist. I'm a master. I'm a rabbi. I'm a sensei. I'm a bad guy. I'm an alien. I'm an animal. I'm a cannibal. I'm so handsome, no. Yo.
And I'm high right now. Can barely open my eyes right now.
And that money we making it. Climbing these ladders and laying foundation, that's masonry. This shit is different, cause my dreams are literally chasing me. Grateful for where life is taking me. I'm living life that's to say the least. Only true beauty can tame the beast. Only true love can tame that beast.
Are you here with me right now? Right now. Vibe with me. Vibe with me right now. Right now, yeah.
What's going on, Pink? You guys are back on the bench podcast with Bubba and Pink. What's going on?
Not much. Excited for the show.
That's right, man. Another good show. We have professional basketball player Majic Dorsey in the house.
Yes,
We're gonna talk about sort of his crazy journey, man. His crazy basketball journey. Of course, talk some some NBA offseason, summer league stuff. We got some Asian League, some important Asian League news and updates and crazy lists.
I was gonna say you put it under crazy list, not necessarily important news.
And we got a lot of other stuff going too outside of sports. We have senators twerking all over the place.
Which I'm all for.
You got football stuff. You got
we need more
some
twerking.
music. You got Usher going. Usher got the world going crazy. But he set people straight because the whole Chris Brown thing. And a lot of people is simmering that Chris Brown could beat him in the verses. So Usher just pops down and gets the little tiny
The
Tiny Desk concert. And
Okay.
It just puts that to bed, man.
You thought so?
1000%.
Really?
Yeah, it's just a difference. It's a difference.
There was a
You
lot
wasn't
of,
impressed?
There was a lot of buzz about it.
Yeah.
I didn't like the song selection for the most part.
Well, it wasn't supposed to be his greatest hits.
I didn't like the song selection. I'm just telling you. it was a little
He
average.
gave you
for me.
Superstar. Like that's a B level Usher song, but it's still like an A level for anybody else.
And
That's one of my favorite songs.
I'm
matter
an
of fact,
Usher
from
fan.
Usher.
He's very good.
Yeah.
Great even. But like I felt that particular performance, he didn't get out of second gear.
Yeah, but okay, but you can still hear his vocals. How great his vocals were.
I don't dispute that.
And his background singers, like coming off of the terrible R&B verses that we've had, the last two of them. Coming off of that,
that's the problem. You're evaluating it against that nonsense.
Well,
that stuff's horrific.
He's a superhero.
Usher is total class, and
Came to
class
save the day.
and class is permanent, and I get it. And it was funny because years ago I went to see Usher in concert, and like August Alsina performed as one of the opening acts.
He's pretty good.
He's okay.
He's okay, yeah.
And what you saw in that thing is there's the difference. There's big levels to this.
Yeah.
You know, August has a nice little sound with some of his songs, and that was cool. Enjoyed it. And then Usher comes out. You're like, no, this is just different. Just vocal talent.
And then you don't want him to empty
showmanship.
his load either, because just in case he does enter something, some sort of level of competition / celebration, you want to save those songs. People just saw you on going through Confessions on the Tiny Desk concert, and then you're gonna get into verses and play the same songs.
No,
You gotta.
I just was underwhelmed with the song selection, and I don't think I literally thought he cruised to that performance.
Yeah, that's what it was supposed to be, though.
I guess, man. But let's not get that excited about it.
Well,
I mean, that's getting excited about watching Bolt run a 10-200 meters.
Yeah, but I'm basically.
That's not what we're here for.
I'm basically a 90s baby. I'm late 80s, 90s, depending on
I'm a 90s college
the age
student,
of the
man.
women who's watching. But that's my era, man.
I guess, man. I think you're wrongly swayed by that, man. That was solid. It wasn't special.
Well, what was not hard to be swayed by, man.
I know, man. oh, we're talking about this.
Yeah, man.
Amen.
The senator twerking. Now, the Rhode Island senator, man. I got to keep replaying this video because it's pretty short. Tiara Mack. It says she's under fire, but she really is, man. A lot of people do not look at Pinky.
I'm excited.
You've already seen this 1,000 times. But look, man, people are really up in arms about her putting up this twerking video. I've seen people I've went to college with. I see them under the comments on IG and on Twitter, and they really don't like her putting up this twerking video to get votes, and that's what she's doing it
Here's
for.
the irony.
All right.
They will say that what she's doing is what's wrong with the country.
Yeah.
What's wrong with the country is their fucking reaction.
Mm.
They are so stale. Now, I said she's a Democrat. She's an Ivy League graduate, and this is not a dumb person that's doing this. This
Right.
is not somebody they pulled out of the strip club. And somehow, I'm not saying she didn't do a shift, but she has other talents. But what I'm saying is it's okay to do this. This is not the end of the world. Yeah. We have far worse politicians doing far worse things than dropping an ass in the air and twerking a little bit. And people that react to this, you obviously have in the Republican and the Democratic divide, but you also have the divide of people that are just afraid of change, of any kind, and they have these stale ideas of what a senator should or shouldn't do, and it's like this action, nobody's harmed. It's not mean-spirited or derogatory to anybody. It's somebody having fun, and here's the other thing. On Monday, did you know who this chick was? Did you know she was alive?
I did not.
Now we all do.
I did not.
And we appreciate that booty.
I want to move to Rhode Island just so I can vote for her. I mean,
My son just flew back from Rhode Island tonight, so maybe there's a connection.
yeah, maybe so. But I'm rooting for it.
Yeah.
But I can see both sides of the fence, right? Because I can see, the black folks saying, she's setting us back. 20 years or whatever, by putting up this twerking video and trying to get folks making a fool of herself. That's the one side of the argument. And I guess I can kind of see that, because you're comparing, because she's, in politics, you're comparing her to how clean slate Obama was and Michelle and this and that. And I can see the comparison and how it pales. But I'm impressed, man. It wasn't a bad. I wouldn't expect, if you tell me a senator is going on a video twerking, I wouldn't expect it to be that good. First of all,
Right.
And she's doing it on a handstand, people. I mean, let's just appreciate the video.
Exactly.
And for what it is.
Exactly.
And that's it.
100%.
You don't want to vote for it, don't vote for it. And then maybe she won't do this next election.
No, don't do that. See, do this. Keep doing it. Vote for it. We need to expand what people can do. We can't be rooted in ideas of the past. If we want genuine change across the board, this is part of what we're accepting.
Yeah. What I'm saying is she's going to see soon enough if this really is going to work or not.
100%.
If it doesn't work at all, she can't come back. She has to put this to bed.
Well, I mean, fair to say, where do you go from there?
Yeah,
What's the next
if it does work, and she,
well, she
wants to get a higher seat.
She has the Usher problem. She can't go to the verses. She knows all the best material.
We're gonna have to brainstorm for you, Tiara. Give you some good ideas of what to do next.
We're very happy to meet and exchange ideas.
Very, very happy. You don't know how happy this makes us. On the bench, man. On the bench podcast with Bubba and Pink. We're here to make the world better. Make the world a better place. And
we found an ally.
Yeah, we have.
She's out here making the world a better place.
That's it, man. That's it. Don't forget that we on all podcast streaming platforms, including here on YouTube. Please like, share, subscribe, all of that good stuff, man. What I wanted to do is get you guys to our very first sponsor here, Overkink.com. Overkink.com has all of your bedroom needs. I don't care what it is, what you're into. Overkink.com has it. And if you use promo code BubbaPink, you can get it for a discount. It's just, I say it on a weekly basis, but I really do mean it. What are you doing if you're not using a discount to get what you need? Gas is high. Rent is going up $1,000 every month. You need stuff out on a discount. And this is it.
We're helping. Here's what I want everyone to do, though. DM Bubba with your wildest kink, and then he could confirm whether Overkink.com has it or not.
There you go. There you go.
He might amuse himself, too.
But all sales are discreet. You don't have to run it by us. This is you go to the store, you go to the online store, you buy it, you use the promo code, and you go on about your business. That is it, man.
All right.
Let's get to our first musical break of the day, and then we'll get our guy here, man, Majic on, and we'll continue with his basketball journey with some NBA offseason, some H League, and a lot of the other that great stuff, man. On the Bench podcast with Bubba and Pink. We'll be right back. She really did that?
It's hard, Joe. Girl, you can't go switching sides of the life. If it gonna ride you right, ride or die. But you won't be satisfied till I slide and break your heart, girl, and make you cry. Girl, you can't go switching sides of the life. If it gonna ride you right, ride or die. But you won't be satisfied till I slide and break your heart, girl, and make you cry. Yeah. I don't know what you've been missing, but I made a promise if you want it, you can get it. Whatever you're going through, baby, I can fix it. Just let me know the time and I'll be there in a minute. 1 minute you believe me, before the same song and dance, babe, it's getting old. Why don't you believe me when I told you that I just wanna make you happy? Girl, you can't go switching sides of the life. If it gonna ride you right, ride or die. But you won't be satisfied till I slide and break your heart, girl, and make you cry. Girl, you can't go switching sides of the life. If it gonna ride you right, ride or die. But you won't be satisfied till I slide and break your heart, girl, and make you cry. Yeah. How you do me? Treat me like a groupie. Girl, I'm always there for you, but ain't for you to use me. You wanna be in love, scared I might not be enough. Girl, don't you know I'm the plug? I have you addicted if I hit it once. Yeah, you play with my love. I know you don't trust me. You're lucky I love you. My love don't come free. Wish you would trust me, cause I don't want nobody but you. Nobody but you. But girl, you can't go switching sides of the life. If it gonna ride you right, ride or die. But you won't be satisfied till I slide and break your heart, girl, and make you cry. Girl, you can't go switching sides of the life. If it gonna ride you right, ride or die. But you won't be satisfied till I slide and break your heart, girl, and make you cry. Yeah. Girl, you can't go switching sides of the life. If it gonna ride you right, ride or die. But you won't be satisfied till I slide and break your heart, girl, and make you cry. Yeah.
You guys are back on the bench podcast with Bubba and Pink, home of sports, music, and mayhem. We got Majic Dorsey in the building. What's going on, Majic?
What's going on? What's going on? Appreciate y'all for having me.
That's right, that's right.
One of the godfathers of the Orlando Hoop scene.
Man, everybody knows Magic, man. They know the name. They say they've hooped with him at some LA Fitness or you know, somewhere when he's here, when he's home in the off season. You know what I mean? So that's what's up, man. So this is where I want to start with you, because we're going to get to a lot of stuff like NBA off seasons, and we're going to get to H League. We're going to get to a lot of that good stuff, man. But you know, as we know, you know, you had a wild basketball journey, man.
Yeah.
You know, such a word to put it there, man. So just wanted to talk about your journey a little bit, and you know what you're open to share. And how did that impact you in your journey? So just go ahead and you know, just kind of open up and talk about that.
Well, I know what journey you're talking about. the rough upbringing, which I'm glad that I get a chance to talk about this, because one of the people who took me in, I happen to have this talk show right now, and she flew in. And I didn't even know that she was coming. So that woman right over there, that y'all looking at,
right?
Yeah.
When I was 11 years old, my mom got locked up on 17 different charges. My mom dropped me off at their house and said she'll be back. I'll be back. She dropped me off on a Friday, said she'll be back Sunday to pick me up. I haven't seen her since.
Wow.
To this day.
To this day.
Wow.
To this day. She went to turned herself in and did her bid in jail. So it's
But she eventually got out, right?
yeah, she's out now, and you know, we try to get her feet good and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Dang.
Wow, man. And then what about your dad?
My dad, same. Dad got double life, so he's gone.
Oh man.
Wow.
Yeah, so
Double life.
that woman over there, like, she played a big part in helping me see the future.
Right.
You know, because
right.
back then it was like, oh my God, I just hope the future is better than what it is.
Yeah, because you said I was 11 years old.
11 years old.
Yeah, man, that's extremely
11
young.
years old.
Now, is she related to you, or just family friend, or what's the connection? How did
So
that come to be?
she's really my cousin,
Okay.
but that's my sister.
Gotcha.
So her mom is the one who took me in and is really my aunt, but I don't go by that aunt. I don't go by that cousin. The day that I moved in, no, you're my brother. Her mom, no, you're my son. And that's what we're sticking to, and it's going to be like that for the rest of life.
And this was in what area is this in again?
Baltimore.
Baltimore.
Baltimore City.
Okay, be more. Yeah.
Yeah.
So so that happens to you at 11, right?
Mhm.
And then at what age would you say you started playing basketball?
I mean, I always was an athlete, you know, just growing up, because, you know, when the era that we come in, you went outside and you played any sport that was going on. If it was football, if it was baseball, if it was hopscotch, if you wanted to just race, whatever. So me, I was very competitive, and I just always wanted to be one of the best at anything that I did. So at that age, I actually was a football player. Like, no one really knows this because everyone down here in Florida knows me for basketball. Basketball is not even my first love.
Okay.
Football is my first love. So I was an All-American in football, and that's the sport that everybody in Baltimore still talk about me to this day. DB, kickoff return, punt return, slot back, quarterback, whatever you name, I just wanted that ball.
That's almost like AI.
Yeah. That's what I
was
envisioned.
football.
Yeah.
first and really loved that game.
Loved
and
it.
then
Yep.
Basketball kind of became the thing that went further for him.
Yeah.
So okay, so you're playing all the sports. You know, you're living with your extended family there.
Mm-hmm.
Are you getting in? Are you into the streets, or are you staying in school and playing sports while you growing
I
up?
mean, my parents, they made sure I was doing my school stuff, but where we grew up at, you had no choice but to be in the streets. So me, I was always that one that was halfway in, halfway out. But then I was a little bit more than halfway in because my parents was making sure that I was in.
Yeah.
So anything that I did that they didn't know, that was the street side, they didn't know. But when I walked through that door, I was a great kid. I went to sleep on time. I listened, made sure I did my homework and all of that. But when I left that house, I had no choice but to be in the streets because everybody that I was with was just gangster.
Right.
And that's just what it was. Even the ones that was halfway in, halfway out, when they left out their house, they was gangster because that's Baltimore City for you.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You know, so, I mean, I did what I had to do to stay into the sports, but I also had to do what I had to do outside the house to be wanted in the neighborhood because if you was a little punk, like, you was going to get ran out of there. And I wasn't going to be the one to just stay in the house all day, so.
Yeah.
You know,
Exactly,
y'all know how it is.
And then what you saying that you know have one foot in, one foot out type of thing. The article that I did read, you know, you said it was a quote in there saying that, you know, as you got older, a lot of the drug dealers, a lot of the the real hardcore gangsters would be like, that's Magic.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we want to see him in the league one day. You know, he's don't bother him or whatever the case may be. Nothing's crazy is going to happen. So you kind of got that safety net around you as well, so you can be halfway out as far as in school and sticking to sports and stuff like that.
When did you first kind of feel that there were guys in the neighborhood that were kind of recognizing your talent and that maybe you had something other destiny besides the street?
I felt like God just took control of that because I wasn't the only one that was a good athlete. Like, I felt like everybody in the hood where I was growing up at, we all was great athletes. But my sister over here, like, she's a strong-minded person. So if I was doing anything in the street, selling drugs, in the wrong place at the wrong time, like, she'll walk up in front of all the drug dealers and let all of them know, like, I'm going to whip every last one of y'all, and I'll pull the blade out on every last one of y'all if y'all allow him to be here. So once the people started saying that, once they started saying that I got better and better and better at football, because it was football at this time.
Right.
Then they started embracing it like, nah, you can't smoke. No, you can't sell drugs. No, look, your sister said you got to be in the house or on your porch when them lights cut off.
Yeah.
So go home.
Get there.
Get there right now. So, I would say that was God. God embraced me with the people that I moved in with, and then embraced me to allow these drug dealers to protect me, but still allow me to get out the hood.
Right.
So that was a blessing.
Yeah.
That was definitely a blessing because it doesn't happen. It don't happen to everyone.
Right.
Yeah. A lot of people get trapped in the hood.
At what point did the animosity leave of you, or did you have any for your parents? At what point did that kind of dissipate there?
I try not to think about it too much. Yeah.
Was that sort of your best defense to that, is to just kind of focus on what you're doing and the people that are there for you, and kind of just tone back and not focus on their situation and how that might have impacted you?
Well, because the people who took me in, I was actually scared to go back to my mom. Like, I wanted to stay there. I wanted to be there. Like, I was hard-headed. I still had a little bit of hood in me because of everything that I seen with my mom and my dad. But when they say, my aunt, my mom, she was the one that be like, no, you got to stop doing this. You got to stop doing that. And then my sister, she was the type, like, all right, you keep acting like that, we're going to send you right back to your goddamn mom. So that was the stuff that made me say,
Better tighten up.
yeah, this house is pretty nice. The food is really good. I got clothes on my baby. Yeah, I got some good things on. Let me tighten up and, act right, because I don't want to go back with my mom. And it's a lot of people that, it's sad that I say that, but I just really didn't want to go back with my mom.
Yeah.
I was afraid because that was the lifestyle. Like, my mom, like she was crazy. She was crazy. Like, my mom's sister went to jail. My mom's sister went to jail. My mom's sister killed somebody, went to jail. Like, everybody with the last name Dorsey, and my sister over there right now could tell you, if the last name was Dorsey, they all went to jail, or they all got killed, or they was killing somebody.
Right.
I was the first Dorsey to make it out, the first Dorsey to get my degree, and that meant a lot to me. But I had the help by my mom actually dropping me off at the right family.
Yeah.
Because the family is big.
Yeah.
She could have dropped me off with somebody else. But she dropped me off with the right group of people that really helped me change my life.
That's powerful.
It is. And then you out here breaking generational curses, man. That's
Yeah.
what's up. So you good?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay, all right. So you're moving along, and you playing sports, and then, like I said, man, you know, according to this article, you get into the situation.
Yeah.
All right. So just talk about the situation that you get in, and you know, whatever you're willing to share about that.
Yeah, so the situation was, I was with a stupid girl that, once again, I keep saying my sister. The first day that she seen her, she was like, I don't like her. I still remember to this day, it was my 9th grade year, and she was like, no, not this one. I'm telling you, I'm going to have to kill her. So, this was 9th grade, and I didn't get actually locked up until my junior year. So during my junior year, I became the #1 football player in the state.
Oh wow!
So y'all know how to
play football all the way up to
yeah. So y'all know how it is. Like, when you're that guy in high school, all the women try to start throwing themselves at you and stuff like that. So I wasn't even dating the girl no more. We had completely stopped dating each other, and she started dating another woman.
Okay.
So when she started dating another woman, she was also dating another guy. And so the dyke girl was jealous of both of me and the guy.
Okay.
So she was coming to tell me that, oh, he said he's going to kill you when he see you. But then she was going to tell him that I was going to kill him when I see him. He was a lot older. He was 4 years out of the army, you know, and things like that. So he was a little bit more about that life than what I was.
And she was a high school girl?
High school. All of this is going on in high school.
Dating the damn
Don't act
retired
brand
girl.
new,
Yeah.
Pink. That's how it goes.
Yeah,
I
this
didn't know
was
she
going
dated
on.
R. Kelly. Damn.
Yeah, so this was going on in high school, and then it just happened that the guy tried to come around my neighborhood to get me with the dyke girl. So they both was actually trying to kill me that night.
They both was together.
They was together, but it got reversed around because the streets where we grew up at, like, it's not, nah. If you're gonna come get me, you better hurry and get me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Did you have like a heads up that they were coming that night or anything? Or
No,
how did
so
that
I
go?
was going to Morgan State University, like, to play with the college kids and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then I lived across the street, so I would always walk home. And then our neighborhood is like really, really dark. So just growing up in the hood, even though nothing is going on, we all had street smarts. All the OGs, my sister, the family, they taught us street smarts. When you walking home, watch your back. Look to the left, look to the right, look behind you. Don't just walk home.
Right.
Always be aware, because when you get to that front door, somebody can come through the door with you. Now we all in trouble.
Yeah.
So I seen 2 people walking in front of me, probably like, 10, 15 yards. One was in all black, one was in army fatigue. So instantly the street smarts start kicking on, like, hold up, like, that ain't looking right.
Yeah.
Because if they know that I'm walking behind them, they will look back and speak. They never spoke. So as we walk in, I crossed the street because I just wanted to stay a distance from them. And then right where I got to turn to my house, I didn't see them no more. So I slowed down. And as I got a little bit closer, because I'm thinking like, oh, maybe they just went.
Yeah.
But let me just be careful. And then I was one of the fastest players in the city. So I knew if I got to a distance, they ain't catching me. So I wasn't really worried about nothing. And then back then, it wasn't really guns. It was all knives and shanks and stuff like that. So I didn't have that mindset like, oh, they're going to shoot me.
Yeah,
If
you
anything,
just
they
had to stay.
they're going to
nice
shank me,
distance
and I'm not going to put myself in that position. So as I got close to the neighborhood, to where my house at, our house was on the corner. So right when I got to the corner up to my house, the guy in the army fatigue popped out and was like, do you remember me? And start walking up to me. And then the person in all black, I thought was a guy, but it was actually the dyke girl.
Oh, okay.
She started rushing me, but I still didn't know who it was. And when they start rushing me, like, you know, I'm gone, yeah. And then when I'm gone, like, I didn't got to get too far because the whole neighborhood is out.
Right.
And then everything just went on from there. You know, they told me, don't worry, go home. You know, I got to the house and everything was fine. And next thing you know, we hear gunshots. And my sister is right there. She heard the gunshots with me. But it was just a typical night for us. Oh, you hear gunshots? Thank God everybody that live in this house is in the house. So we just ignoring it.
Yeah.
Next day, the police came, kicked that door down, and, you know, my sister is right here. I still remember when it happened. When they kicked the door down, they slammed me. She actually tried to fight the police.
Respect.
And she tried to get off of him. He ain't do nothing. And they had to slam her, too. And she fighting right along with me. And everything just went on from there. And then I found out the actual story of what was going on, who said I killed the person, and things like that.
Yeah, that's
How
extremely crazy.
long from that night that they come through the door did it take for you to be exonerated?
So the person got killed, let's just say like on a Thursday.
Yeah.
They came and kicked the door down on Friday. So they actually, it was a long window. But now we know what's going on. Now I know, like, because the actual girlfriend that was dating the two guys, the guy and the girl, she's calling the house like, you killed him, you killed him. So now everything can start making sense. Like, hold up. Like, that was the people that was trying to rob me. So I'm like, oh, wow. Did he just die?
Until you got that call, you had no connection that it was in any way connected to that original girl you used to date.
I didn't know nothing until she called and was like, you killed him. You killed him, you killed him, you killed him. And then where the person got killed at, his name is Chris, the person got killed in his yard. So all the police and everything had happened in his yard. And then he came to the house that same night after the phone call, like, you killed him, you killed him. I was like, bro, like, the person who got killed, the dyke girl that was supposedly friends with your ex-girlfriend, was the one found over top of the body. Everything clicked. So I'm like, oh, they was trying to kill me. And so then I knew everything that was going on, and it just went on from there.
Jeez.
Yeah, it is a lot, man.
Yeah, a tough situation.
So, I'm trying to take it all in. All right, so it happens. How, like you said, did you answer that? How long before you knew you were fully exonerated?
Well, the night that when they came in and they arrested me and stuff, they locked me up. It was just life. Like, you're going to jail. You did it. You did it. You did it. You did it. They didn't want to hear.
That's what they're telling you.
Yeah, it was nothing. The whole time I was in jail.
No, before court. Just this is what it.
Yeah, it was just like you're there.
And what you thinking when they telling you that?
I didn't do it.
That's just what you said.
Yeah.
You had the benefit of knowing you didn't do it.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't
but
do
you're
it.
there. You're what, 16, 17, and somebody's telling you
old.
that you're going to get life.
But the other thing is that, like, I would have to imagine from what you said with your family, like, your family name, like, they probably assume that you did
They was
it.
assuming,
And they're probably like, we know what this guy's all about.
That was it.
And kind of railroading the whole situation, I would imagine.
Yeah, so it was just you did it, you did it, you did it. So once I got locked up, they sent me to the cell and all of that. And when you get locked up, like, every week you get in front of a bail hearing while you're in jail, you know, and then just to see if you're gonna snitch, just to see if you're gonna start talking. Got in front of the judge. Do you have anything to tell us, Mr. Dorsey? I didn't do it, Your Honor. Well, life. Next person get up. So I'll go back to my cell, and another week. They do this for a month. And then after that month, if you don't start talking, now you're really going to, like, the holding cell.
Yeah.
You know, so I went through all of that for a month, but my sister and them found me Jada Pickett Smith. Her stepdad, Warren A. Brown, is like the biggest lawyer in Baltimore.
Oh, wow.
He's one of those ones that pretty much win every case that he put his hands on.
Yeah.
And they found him for me, and he took on my case for free.
Oh, man.
Yeah, so he really helped me out, and I remember him coming. I was talking to my aunt and my sister and them, and they said, look, we need you to go back to your cell. This was at night. You need to go back to your cell, and we need you to pray. But I was already praying, like, oh, Lord Father, let me get out of jail. You know, I didn't do it. You know I didn't do it. Please let me get out. They was like, no. Go back and really pray. So I went back to my cell, got on my knees, and I was doing my typical prayer. I got lost in my prayer. Started crying, everything. And this is the truth. Literally the very next day, the lawyer came and was like, oh, you're going home. Don't worry. So I'm like, when? I got out the very next day.
The very next
day. So he got the life sentence down to $10,000 bail, paid everything out of his pocket, and I got out, and then it was just now leading up to the court, and then the whole case just fell apart, and they just threw everything out.
They just
threw everything
prior to having a trial?
Yeah, because the person, the dyke girl that was with the guy trying to kill me, they drove up there together. When he got killed, she was over top of the body. She's the one who said, I did it. She took his cell phone and his car keys. And then when Warren A. Brown took on the case, within that month, he talked to the mom and the dad of the people. And they was like, okay, what is he missing? What did he have? They was like, well, where's his car? So his car was still parked in my neighborhood the whole time that he was dead and I was in jail. So the person had the phone. And when they called him called the phone, she answered it. And that's the same person that said I did it. So now the case is like, hold up, like you're found over top of the body. You got his cell phone. You got his car keys. Maybe you did it.
Right.
So now, he ate that alive, and the case just fell apart.
Wow.
How was your experience in the jail? I know I read some stuff in the article about that too.
Yeah.
How was that experience? Like,
the experience is just is not for no one. I don't care what age you is. It's not for no one. But I was kind of protected because my family was well known in the streets, and then I went to Dunbar Senior High School. It's the #1 school in Baltimore, so I had a lot of protection.
And you was in the adult.
I was an adult.
They were going to try you as an adult too.
Try because I was 17 turning 18, so they was trying me as an adult. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Talk about a worst case scenario.
Yeah, so that would have been even worse.
You know what I mean?
For sure,
yeah.
for sure.
So I got released from jail right before they was about to send me to the adult population.
The adult population.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
Jim
it
Pop.
was perfect time.
Couldn't even buy cigarettes out of the store, but you might have been
Yeah.
sent to
right, exactly.
Damn. Oh man. So, okay, yeah. All right. So we get through that. What was your first? You're in the 11th. Now you're about to go to the 12th when all of this stuff passes, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, how did that affect you being on the team? How did that affect the players treating you? How did
and your recruitment as well.
recruitment?
So it hurt my recruiting because I signed with Florida State on a 4 scholarship.
You did?
Yeah.
Before
year were you been
this,
down there?
Since 2000.
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
for basketball.
No, for football.
For football.
Everything was football.
Everything was football.
Everything was football. They signed me on a 4 scholarship for football, and
Florida
this is
State.
the Peter Ward days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's funny,
This is
man.
crazy.
Yeah, so I was going there to Florida State for football, and how it works in Baltimore when you're a minor and you get locked up, your grades keep going. So when I got released from jail, now, I'm pretty much on house arrest. I got to be in the house by 6 and stuff like that. I'm not really in school because the person who said I killed the person was still at the same school I was at. So I wasn't allowed to go back there.
That makes sense.
So I didn't go to school for like 2 months, and I had to make up grades and stuff like that. So I had to transfer to Southern High School.
Gotcha.
So my grades kept going. So now my grades is worse, and I got to get higher on the SAT score.
Right.
So I picked my grades up, but I couldn't get higher on the SAT score. So that's how I actually end up in Florida in a junior college.
Oh, okay. In the first place. And which one was that? That was
Brevard Community
Brevard.
Cocoa
Yeah.
Yep.
I know because one of my favorite players went there, Keith Brumbaugh.
Oh yeah, Keith was good.
But he was
so
out
I
there.
came, he was good. He was one of the best players. Yep.
Yeah.
He was a
different.
story unto himself. Man.
Yeah, he's another story. Not this crazy, but another story.
He was
All right,
different.
so that hurt your recruitment because of SAT scores, your grades. So you end up going to Brevard Community College now. But what I wanted to know also is how are the players treating you after this? Are they got your back, or are they saying
in Baltimore?
Yeah.
No, you get locked up on a murder charge. Everybody love you.
Oh, yeah. Oh, you the man.
You the man. So I was really good in football, and then I was at the #1 high school.
Okay.
Obviously, but I wasn't a senior, so normally the seniors get all the respect.
Yeah.
But I still was really good in football, and I still was ranked.
And you was on varsity.
I was on varsity, all of that. But when I got out of jail, I probably was on TV every other weekend. I was in the newspaper every week.
Yeah.
It was like the whole hood just respect me and love me, and it actually blew me up even more. And then my first football game out of jail, because I was locked up for 5 weeks, so I missed 5 football games.
Oh, that was right during the football
Yeah.
season.
Yeah, so I told everyone, I said, okay, when I get out of jail, my first football game, I'm going to score 5 touchdowns. I broke the state record with 6 touchdowns. My very first game.
Very first game.
Very first game. So, and it just blew me up.
Hey, I gotta ask a question. Dunbar High, was that where Muggsy Bogues
Muggsy
went?
Bogues, yep.
And they had that legendary high school team. It
Yep.
was like 5 guys, like Reggie Lewis as well.
Reggie Lewis,
David
yep.
Wingate from
Wingate,
Georgetown.
yep.
Oh,
That's
okay.
the same school.
That's
yeah.
a hell of a documentary if you
Yeah.
ever catch it.
It's the number 1 high school team ever
Dunbar?
in history. Yep.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, it was like literally 5 guys that were major
Yeah.
pros.
ESPN did a documentary
Yeah,
on it.
all played
yeah.
at the same time in high school.
And what and
It was on
relevance
ESPN.
Yeah.
relevance to your time, what is that? Before or after?
Oh, this is way
Before,
before me.
way
before you.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
okay,
yeah.
This is like around my sister time.
Okay.
Michael Lloyd and everybody. Yeah.
Okay. I didn't know if you was one of those guys that just look real good for your age or not. I didn't know.
Appreciate that.
No,
Nice attempted save.
Yeah.
All right, so were you like upset before going to BCC, Brevard Community College, about you wanted to really go to Florida State,
Well,
big college?
I still was going to go to Florida State. So Florida State put me in the junior college. I was only coming to Florida just to work on my SAT score, and then I was going to be leaving Brevard like for second semester to go straight back to Tallahassee.
Which a lot of guys, that's how they think. That's their mindset.
Yeah.
Go to a JUCO for a year or two.
Yeah,
a couple
and then-
semesters,
Why
then
did
go.
they? Why Brevard and not TCC? Tallahassee Community
So
College?
I was going to go to TCC, but because TCC was more for just basketball, and I was like, okay, if I go, Florida don't have junior college football.
No.
So I was like, okay, I want to go play basketball too. So it was out of TCC and Brevard. And so the reason why I came to Brevard, because I had the connection with Dante Culpepper.
Okay.
So Dante was UCF, 35, 40 minutes from Orlando to Brevard.
Mm-hmm.
So I wanted to do that because I knew I was going to be well taken care of.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Okay. So where was the switch to where, okay, I'm only going to play basketball now? Where did that switch come?
So my first month at Brevard, they had the actual JUCO All-American camp, all the rankings for ESPN, Sport News Magazine, Slam Magazine. The camp happened to be at my school when I was there. So I was like, okay, well, I'm on the basketball team. I'm going to just go participate in the camp. And I remember the second game that we played, the first game, I had about 9 assists, maybe like 12 points, something like that. And then the very next game, probably had like 6, 7 points. And then I had a fast break, and I had 2 players running beside me, one on the left, one on the right. One defender. He's probably like 6'8", 6'9". So I'm coming down the middle, trying to see what I'm going to do to throw the ball for a pass. And I happened to rise and dunk on him. And when I dunked on him, every scout in the nation came to our court. And literally after that day, like I was the number 1 JUCO point guard in the nation. Like just off of one dunk.
Just off of that one dunk.
That one dunk.
It's crazy
how it
how
works,
that
man.
can happen.
And
It
that,
really
and I
is.
really understand it.
And you wasn't. My
I
thing
didn't even
is,
care about basketball.
yeah, you didn't. Yeah, you wasn't really playing basketball, so you didn't have a lot of. How much basketball did you really play in high school?
I mean, I was on varsity. I started. Yeah, but I was one of those ones like, no, you go guard the fastest player. You just play defense, and if you get that wide open shot, take a shot. Like I remember my sister and them used to come to my football games, and it was go, 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 go. They come to my basketball. Why you don't never shoot the ball? Shoot the ball. But I just didn't care. I just was good enough to be on varsity, start and all of that. And then when I became the number 1 point guard in the nation, and I'm actually going to Publix and buying all the magazines because I know I'm in it. That feeling feeling good. And then it turned into, all right, once the basketball season starts, everybody's recruiting me. And then Dante Culpepper, he's a Pro Bowl quarterback at this time. He's coming to the game. Look, you get 30 points, I give you $1,000. You score 25 and 10, I give you $2,000. So that just made my numbers just skyrocket, and I end up leading the nation in scoring and third in assists.
Did Dante talk you into choosing basketball too?
No, he just wanted me to be successful.
Okay.
Yeah, it was never no stick with ball. Because in my mindset, I'm still going to leave to play football. And then once that start happened, now you got NBA scouts coming and viewing me in junior college and like, oh, you know, you might have a shot.
Yeah.
You know, so everything just switched around. And then,
How did you connect with Dante?
so with Dante, Larry Tucker went to Morgan State. Larry Tucker was Culpepper's agent and his best friend. So he was going to Morgan State University, which Morgan State was across the street. So he was the #1 football player on Morgan State, and then I was the #1 football player in the city at that time. So whenever it was a newspaper article, they always talk about the college, and they always talk about the best high school. So we was always together. So
Right, just inevitably linked.
yeah, and then when I moved down here, he stopped playing because Dante made it, and he became his agent and stuff like that.
Right.
And
Okay.
that was the connection
That's
with
cool.
that.
That's
And they didn't want me to go back to Baltimore, and I didn't want to go back to Baltimore, and everything just was a blessing from there.
That's true, though. But again, it's the power of connections.
It's the connection.
You know, and we talk about it on the show quite a bit. It's like the people that you know, the circle you put around yourself, that says so much about you and your destiny.
Yeah. And that's a big part. Like, it's a lot of players here in Orlando, I'm glad you said that, that's really, really good. I don't want to say no names, but we know a lot of players that's really, really good that should be playing pro and playing places. Like in the Ace League, it's players you be like, why he don't play nowhere? Like,
Yeah.
you know, he's the MVP back-to-back years. You know what I'm saying?
No, it's
But it's all about who you know, and it's about what you do with those people that you know. You understand what I'm saying?
No,
like,
exactly.
so it's a big part. I'm 41 years old, and I just got 4 more new contracts to go play pro ball again. Whereas those contracts really can be going to younger players.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, yes, they might be better than me because they might go harder than what I would go right now because everything is just stealing money right now for me. But it's because I know the right
Don't
people.
tell 'em.
I mean, it's just how it is.
No,
It's all about who you know. So all of my connections and the way that I treat people and how much I love everybody, you know, they know. Yes, you still can play. We want you. Come on, take this contract.
Right.
Okay, I'm gonna take this contract. Can my wife come?
No, but I was going to compare that. Like, since I met you several years ago, like, you just have such a great essence of giving to the people around you, and you're such a, you know, and I say Godfather, but in a very positive sense of this basketball community. You're very open to mentoring people. You're very open to just getting to know and connecting people. And I mean, that's just a great asset. And you know, I think we're fortunate here in Orlando to have a person like you in this basketball community for that very reason. And you know, it's great to hear that it works for you too.
Yes.
You know, and that way of treating people and being professional and being an open and good person, you know, comes back and extends your career with contracts that are positive for you.
Yes, and I learned that from the household that I was in.
I was just going to ask you, what did you learn?
They played a big part in that because they didn't have to take me in.
Yeah.
You know, they didn't have to take me in, and it was all about, you know, who they knew and my mom dropping me off there and they helping me along the way. And so I want to help the next person and stuff like that. And I feel like one of the best qualities that I have about myself, like, is just really no hate in my blood. Even if the person hate me, all right, man, it's okay, I love you. You know, that's just really me because you hating me don't hurt me.
Right.
You know, so I'm glad that I have that quality about myself that it helps me. It helped me get a beautiful wife, right. You know, and it helped me still be able to play basketball and actually be able to be on the Bubba and Pink show. You know, so
what's funny is I barely know you from a can of paint. And Will Lee, he inboxed me earlier today. And because I said I was going to talk about the top 5 list that he put out. And he was like, well, you know, let's talk about the 2K ratings. I'm going to send you this. Magic not going to like that. I didn't have him in the top 5 point guard list. And I wrote him back. I said, I don't think Magic will really care about that, man. And I barely know this guy, and I know that he
players
really
that he
care.
lists, everybody other than Darius Washington, I like that he lists them because they're players who need to be listed and go hard.
Right.
What made me start liking basketball? Because I was ranked.
Right.
So it made me go harder. So the Romelos and the Ronaldos, like, rank them kids so they can go hard.
Yeah.
They not nowhere right now.
Yeah.
You know, obviously, you know, bless them to Ronaldo just getting signed for the NBA Summer League and stuff like that.
And you're
but
saying not D-Watch because he's already established.
he's established,
better. Yeah,
you know. But yes, I understand Will giving him his respect.
Yeah.
And that's good that he's doing that. But Darius don't care about that.
Yeah, and I was gonna say, like, what you just said is consistent with a conversation we had a couple of years ago when we were getting ready for Will to name MVP and defensive player. And I remember you saying to him, it made a big impression on me. It's like, it will mean more to this player than it will to the other guy, and that matters.
Yes.
And when you really look at it in big picture, it does.
It really does. You know, because the MVP, okay, we could just say it was Rod.
Yeah.
Rod is the MVP every year, and he's the one that feel like he should be actually playing somewhere.
Yeah.
And I feel the same way.
Yeah.
That's how good you coach him.
Yeah. No,
So
I mean,
you know.
it's, you watch him, you know, in any, I mean, I've literally coached him in 100 games, in Ace League games, money tournament games, and he never plays small. Like, he, you know, whatever the stage is, he plays it.
He plays.
And
whatever you need from him, he's going to give you.
Right, and I respect the hell out of it. I love Rod. But, like, in parties, it's just a shame he's not getting a check to do this.
And I feel like it's going to happen. Like me, I almost got him signed twice this year. When me and my wife, we was overseas, like, it was an opportunity that came up, and right when they was about to sign him, it started looking at the resumes. So it's like, okay, well, Magic, if he's this good, why didn't he play this year and play that year? And all I can say is, like, look, just trust me. Ignore that.
Yeah.
Be the person that when the next team try to sign, they're like, oh, he played here last year.
Yeah.
But it have to start somewhere.
You're
the
right.
same with all of us.
Pink is huge on that. The like organizations, like they're trendy. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Whatever
very
the
trendy.
one is doing.
No, that resume, because it's like, you know, people, you know, you got to realize on the team side that, you know, there's coaches that their job is on the line, and there's, you know, general managers, their job is on the line, and it comes down to winning, and what they do is they're trying to buy brand names.
Yes.
They're buying safe. There's a conservatism to that. That, oh, I got this guy, he played in the SEC, or I got this guy that, you know, he had a cup of coffee in the league, and, you know, that's not always the best player.
Right.
Yes.
But it's the safe pick.
It's
How
the
can
safest.
as the coach or the GM be criticized for getting a guy that was, you know, played 10 games last year in the NBA, and played in the high league in Spain? It's safe. It's conservative. It's the same thing in high school with stars.
Yes.
Like, you know, if you go out and recruit a 4- and 5-star guy, nobody's going to fault you.
At
if
all.
you get a 2-star guy, you know, people look at you like, what are you doing
You
with
can't
that
make
guy?
a mistake.
But, you know, we know on the other side of this, like, you know, I think J.J. Watt was a 2-star guy, and there's plenty of guys that become high-level dudes
for sure.
that didn't have as many stars.
Tom
and
Brady.
somebody saw it. Yeah. I didn't know his high school thing, but definitely, you know, that's the thing.
Yeah.
But it takes a huge courage as a coach, general manager, player, personnel person to take that leap of faith on something where the resume or the stars or the accolades are not there, and believe that player is capable of it.
And that's the problem that's keep happening, I think, with this player that we're talking about.
100%.
Because every time I put his name out there and they ask me for players and I send them a list of 5, it always comes to, well, who's the best player? I like, just trust me, like this one right here. But his resume is the worst out of all of them. Just trust me.
Yeah.
And then they get down to it, and then when they go have their tea and a coffee with the GMs and everybody's at the table like, well, what do you think about this player? Oh, this resume look good. I mean, this video look good. This video look good. Oh, wow, this video look great. But this resume is the best. But this video look great. I'm like, all right, I know it's just a video, but trust me, go with the video this time.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Please, just once. But it's the safe pick because once this video, because he's going to have a bad game.
Yeah.
It ain't no pro that have a great game every game.
Yeah.
So when he have a bad game, they talk a lot overseas. It's going to be, see, I told you we shouldn't have got him. He's not that good. Cut him and send him home.
For sure.
And then they're going to bring a name player in, you know, that can have 2, 3 bad games and then have the opportunity to pick it back up to get to that 4th and 5th.
100%.
You know, so that's
Yeah.
exactly, you're telling the truth on that one.
Yeah. No, I mean, it operates the same domestically. Like, you know, if a team spends a lottery pick on a guy, that guy's going to get a ton of
get
chances.
multiple chances.
Ton of
versus
chances.
a guy that you know that got picked in the 2nd round or came, you know, through the G League to the league. It's a lot of politics. It's a lot of leverage with, you know, what you're being paid, where you were picked, or what your resume is versus others.
Yeah.
It's definitely not 100% talent on the court or between the lines.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. Ebony says she needs the documentary, man. Your story is wild.
Yeah, we're gonna work on that. We're working on that.
No, for sure. So, I mean, we kind of moved towards the Ace League, but and then I wanted to talk about the overseas thing too. That now, we kind of here. We're kind of here at both places at the same time.
You're at a fork in the road, Bubba.
But I'll tell you what. Let's get to our second sponsor before we get to one of those two things there, man.
Bubba gets to regroup.
And I get to regroup. Royal13thebrand.com. Don't forget, if you use promo code BubbaPink, you can be fly all summer. We still got a few months left in the summer, man. You can get the summer clothes that Royal13thebrand.com has. Once again, use promo code BubbaPink. Go on their website, get fly, use the promo code, use the discount, and be fly for cheap.
All right. Are nice.
Yeah, man. I keep telling Pete I'm going to buy it. I'm telling Pete tonight. I'm gonna
Please.
All right.
Payday for you or no?
They're not even Hoochie Daddy shorts. They're regular shorts. So you're safe there.
Tucker can't wear them now.
Shout out, I got Tuck, man. No, that's for sure. And once again, you guys are on the bench podcast with Bubba and Pink. We're on all podcast streaming platforms, including here on YouTube. Like, share, subscribe. We got our main guy in here, Majic Dorsey, right now. Just talking his crazy journey, talking some overseas basketball, Ace League, all of that good stuff here, man. So overseas ball, right? It's just a lot of things I want to know, because some people, like random casual fans, right?
Mm-hmm.
They say that the guys who couldn't cut it in the NBA go overseas. They think they're much less of the basketball players. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
What would you say? What would be your retort to that, or to that line of thinking?
I mean, you have your players who was right there for NBA, and then you have your players that's just not an NBA player.
Right.
So it's levels I feel like for everything. It's the same as soccer, baseball. Like, some of the greatest baseball players played in the Dominican Republic pro for 6 years before they signed a $200-300 million contract.
Right.
So it's like a stepping stone. So it just depends on like how the fans want to view it, because everybody gonna have an opinion in some type of way. So. Yeah. That's how I just look at it.
How close did you get in your was NBA ever a dream? And then how close?
Yeah, I mean, I was very close. I was with the Orlando Magic G League team. I was with the Orlando Magic mini camp. The year that they made it to the finals and stuff like that. And sad to say, but I was an injury away.
Oh yeah.
And it sucks, because I was just talking to my stepson about this, like. I was in a mindset like, Jameer, please get hurt, please get hurt, please get hurt. And it's sad that it's like that. I'm older, so I can actually talk about it, but I was really hoping that, players get hurt. So the year that Jameer actually got hurt, they brought me in, Will Conroy in, and player played the Pujetta. And because I was the starting point guard on the G League, my team was the #1 team in the West Coast, Reno Bighorns. My relationship with Dwight Howard, I had the biggest chance to actually be the one who signed that contract. So when they brung me in, it was like, everything is looking good. My agent's telling me they're going to call you up on a 10-day contract. You're going to get your $45K and all of that. Ray for Austin ended up getting traded here, like literally the same day. And that was it. I was like, man, I'm going to just go overseas and get my money. Skip to my lure. And that's actually one of my favorite players. Yeah.
Well, the G League, I know they've kind of changed it for some of the young prospects, and also with the two-way deal. But the G League historically has not been the best pay, and players that are good G League players could and still can typically make more overseas. Is that fair to say?
That's why I end up leaving.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it was like, okay, you done spent the last 4 or 5 years and you keep getting close, but what about the bread now? So I just left. Because it was like the money was just totally different. But now, they're getting paid good.
Yeah.
Things are changing enough. Yeah, they're getting enough to stay in America.
Exactly.
So that's a blessing that the NBA is actually doing that now. I love that.
I do too. I think there's a lot of guys that again they're maybe not far from NBA players. Maybe they're at the right level and just there's no roster space.
Yeah.
But to be able to keep them domestically, keep an eye on their development and progression. particularly organizationally, if you're the Magic's G League team, you've got guys there that you want to develop in a certain way. That granted, go overseas, play whatever. Maybe they unlock facets of their game that you're not gonna. But it's just to have a more hands-on reality with the player development in the G League, I think is a good thing.
It's a really good thing. The player that you coach,
Hassani Gravett, yeah.
He could have went overseas and signed a big contract.
For sure.
But he stayed here and played in the G League, and then the whole team got sick, I think, or hurt.
Yeah, the COVID protocols.
The COVID protocol.
Yeah.
So they called him up, and he played, 40 games in the NBA or something like that?
Played a big batch of games.
20 games,
for sure,
something like
for
that.
sure. And the reality is, if he was playing, in Greece or Turkey or something, they wouldn't have called him. They would have called somebody local.
They would have called somebody local.
There would have been contractual difficulties and things like that.
So I love what they're doing now. And I love it. I really love it.
Yeah. That is good. The other thing, and it really mirrors something we talked about a couple weeks ago with Darnell and soccer and the way they've created tiers below MLS.
Oh yeah, exactly.
That I had a soccer guest on, and they've kind of done some similar stuff in soccer with the MLS, and they have an MLS 2 that allows more players to develop domestically.
And an MLS too?
Yeah.
Oh wow, I didn't even know they had that. That's really good.
And it's the same concept. It keeps players local. It keeps them in a good developmental setting. It doesn't just they leave college, graduate college, and either catch on somewhere in Europe and nobody's quite sure where they are or whatever, or they're able to play at a good level and be accessible to MLS teams when injury and other things
injuries come up. That's good that they do that.
Yeah, 100%. As far as playing overseas, what's a place that you really enjoyed playing?
China.
That was your favorite, hands down.
Yeah, it's just they just love basketball.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, China just love basketball, and I like South America also because they just love basketball. It's like when you're playing in those places, it's like you're really the NBA player.
Okay.
They cheer for the players that they see more than the players that they see on TV. Whereas though you could play in certain places like Europe and stuff like that, and it's like, oh yeah, he's on our team, he's a great player, but we still love LeBron.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Whereas though in China and places like that, it's like, oh no, we don't care about LeBron. We want to go see Majic Dorsey today, or Stephon Marbury. So it's different places that show different type of love. So me, I'm a love to be happy type player. Like this Ace League, I can go play in the Ace League, don't score a bucket, but I'm super happy.
Right.
Because I love the environment. I love seeing other people grow, things like that. I get to compete a little bit, then I go home, me and my wife go get something to eat, and oh man, today was a great day. Today was a great day.
Ice Cube.
So places like South America and like China, Asia is it's really fun. And it's weird because I was just talking to Chris Warren about this. Yeah. And Chris was like, I don't want to go back to Europe ever again. He's done with Europe.
France
he was in France. And he was like, he do not want to go back. He was like, man, please help me get to the Middle East.
Got you.
Yeah.
Middle East?
The Middle East, yeah. That's because that's where they pan and they pan on time. So a lot of players.
That's important.
I'm glad you mentioned that because knowing a bunch of different guys that have played different places, I've always heard really horror stories about the money,
getting the money on time, and that's normally Europe.
Yeah,
it's normally Europe.
More so than any other place you've been.
More than any place.
And I would think the opposite. I would think Europe.
But that's what everybody think that. But if it's not a league that's actually funded by the government and is actually funded by the organization can just say they went bankrupt. And then now what? You can't do nothing about it.
Yeah,
you have nobody to fight for you, nothing, because the team went bankrupt. It's just like in America. If somebody go bankrupt, government can't take nothing from you. You file for bankruptcy.
Is that on the player to know that information, to know that can happen, or is that on the agent?
So I will want to say on the agent, but because I actually help players also, and I've been playing the game so long now, 18 years, you can't really, most players, everybody always put it on the agent. You can't put it on the agent because the agent is really doing what he's supposed to do to get you a job. Did you get the job? Yes. And then the agent is also looking at itself. I did my job so I can get my commission. The agent commission is always given to them before the season starts. So before the player actually practice, within the first 48 hours, you got to take your heart test and all of that. Once you pass that test, before that player steps foot on the court, the team have to give the agent his commission. So once he get his commission, he don't really care what happens.
Yeah, he's done.
He's done. He got his money. Now you have some agents that that care about the player and stuff like that, care about relationship or go the extra mile and stuff like that. But it's not really the agent. And it's always a lot of players that always blame that agent. And I'm like, you can't really blame the agent. The agent got you the job, and the agent got his money. So he did his job. You got to do the research on your own. Who's the Americans that was on the team last year? Did they get all their money? And who was the Americans before that?
Yeah.
Facebook.
IG, Facebook.
IG, like, hey, man, look, I just see that you used to play for this team. They just offered me a contract. What do you think? Now, you have some players that hate because they want to go back to the team. And stuff like
Terrible
that.
situation.
Yeah, it's a terrible.
And you just re-signed it.
And you just re-signed it. So you got to put it all together and things like that. But, you just got to put yourself in a situation. And I've been fortunate enough to be in a situation where, as though when I left Europe, I never had a problem with getting my money. Yeah.
No, it is true that, like, I've always noticed that, like around the Ace League and with some of the guys that are involved with our stuff, they will talk. Like you get back in the summer now, and guys, how was Switzerland this year, or how was
They
Germany?
owe me money. They owe me money. They owe me money.
So but sometimes it's no, it's good experience, whatever, this, that, and the other. So, yeah, but it's the more I've learned about guys that play overseas, it's not a picnic.
Yeah.
There's a lot of like real stuff, whether it's the money stuff, even and Hassani, he was in Macedonia 2 years
And
ago.
I'm sure
during
he
COVID.
probably didn't get everything.
Well, it wasn't even so much that. It was just like it just was not a good place for him to be.
Yeah.
It just was. It was during COVID times and whatever, and I felt. Now I know you could probably speak on this better. I felt coming out of the COVID season and the guys coming back, which would have been last summer, really. I thought guys were just mentally and emotionally drained.
Yeah.
And it felt like they talked about like different protocols. Like 1 week you could go to a restaurant and sit down, the next week you couldn't, and a lot of stuff. I just thought the seasons were particularly exhausting for guys.
For a lot of people, even myself, like I almost like really just gave it up and just like, all right, I'm just gonna be a husband. Because I actually was in China when it happened.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and my wife was messaging me like, okay, you've been there 2 weeks now, and I can't go outside. I ate Starbucks and McDonald's, breakfast, lunch, dinner, because that was the only thing that was open.
Oh, wow.
And if you get caught outside, you go to jail. They take your passport and you're going to jail. And
China was strict.
That's a communist country, so no one can help you.
Right.
She just kept telling me like, no, it's time to come home. It's time to come home. Like, look, you need to get out of there. You need to get out of there. So I just randomly just was like, you know what? Let me get out of here. And once I got out, I went like the next 6-7 months like just doing nothing. Like me and her was working out outside in the hot sun in the summertime at a basketball court. And I was like, it's time to start looking at coaching jobs, and I got offered the Reno coaching job. I was like, maybe I'm just going to do this route. And then I came back and I played in the Ace League, and then you start getting happy again, getting love, and then when you start getting phone calls, it's like, no, we still want to bring you. COVID is over with now. Like, we want to sign you to another contract, and then it just sparked the love again.
No.
The thing with you just mentioned, like if you were outside you could get arrested, whatever. It's a transition to the Brittney Griner situation.
Yes.
And I guess I look at it. I'm not a weed guy, so I don't value that. And to me, it just seems stupid to go to another country with that on you, because you can't predict the reaction, and you can't predict how the criminal justice system's going to react. But you've been to many countries and been in different situations, and it's like. You kind of, if you could speak on it, because like what type of preparation do you make as far as like making sure I'm in compliance with the law, and even if it's not something like outright illegal in a country, but like something that like they regard maybe much differently than we do in the U.S. that would be essentially a normal behavior. Like, what have you experienced in that regard?
So for me, like it's always like just the money part, like trying to sneak money out of the country, because you can't travel with more than 10,000. So it's normally like that, like you trying to your best not to just be putting money into account, because then you got to pay taxes here. So you're trying to bring as much cash as you get, So that was the only thing with me. I don't smoke, I don't drink, or nothing like that. But I know a lot of players who do this. So my thing is like, if you're going to be smoking, like. With this Brittney Griner, you can't just wait till you get home and just buy some more? But obviously she wanted to smoke on the flight. She wanted to have her mind ease and stuff on the flight, but come on, you got to know that. I don't care if it was Russia, what country it is, any country, like the dog can get you. Yeah, the dog can just, once the dog is signaled off and they find something, it's up to them. Sometimes certain countries will just let you get away with it. Like, look, like, you're going to pay this fine. But she's coming from Russia, China, places like that. Like, you got to be very careful.
That's what's. I mean, and I'm not saying it's okay how long she's been.
No, they treating her wrong. They definitely
treating her wrong.
But like you kind of gotta have some awareness on your end of what you're dealing with. Like,
it was bad timing too
It's
because of
bad
the
timing.
U.S. Russia.
Yep.
She got. It was just terrible timing, and so she couldn't control that. But at the same time, you get control what you can control.
And
You know
that's
what I
it.
mean?
And also, because Brittney, after the WNBA, she always go to Russia to play. So
Yeah.
obviously, she done got it across before. She done got on that plane.
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
that
So
point.
she just.
yeah.
So it's people who like you
Yeah,
gotta
that's true.
you're being stupid. So, but in her mindset, it's like it happened once.
done it
I can
before.
do it again. I
Yeah.
can do it again.
Yeah.
So
And I did feel that in some way maybe she misjudged the almost like the international dynamic, and maybe she'd done this before
Yes.
with no thing, but the politics between
It's
the
too
two
dangerous.
countries are a little different right
Yeah,
now.
it's too dangerous.
and you're kind of walking into a firestorm.
How do you feel about the overall sentiment of like if it was LeBron, he would be home by now? Like that's.
I just
so
hate that
man.
that coach is even talking like that. I mean, I feel where she coming from, but like, don't bring nobody else into that situation.
Yeah.
Because I would think LeBron wouldn't be. What what LeBron would have did? LeBron would have had 3-4 other people traveling with him and had them carry him. And then look, I'll get you out of jail.
Yeah.
So LeBron, he's aware not to do something like that.
Right.
But I hate that the way that they're treating her, but she kind of put herself in that situation, and I don't want to really speak on it too much because she's American, she's a fellow athlete. I hope that everything happened, but you got to just know with the way that Ukraine and Russia and America and all that stuff is going on. Once that dog hits you, like, you're done. And all they doing is just being assholes to her right now.
Right.
They doing that on purpose.
Exactly.
And that's what I don't like.
Yeah, no, that definitely, without a doubt, that's come into play.
Yeah.
Well, let's get back to the Ace League, right? And I wanna just overall talk about how the season has been so far. Then we'll shortly after that we'll get to the crazy list that Will puts out. But just overall so far, man, Ace League 2022. What you guys think about this season? How it's been going so far?
Well, I'm loving it right now. Like every summer, like I get a new player, and I was like, wow, like this kid is really good. So last year it was on your team. He played in Cyprus this year.
Orlando?
Orlando. I like Orlando Parker. He does it all.
Yeah.
To me, he's one of the best players because obviously fans just want to see, oh, he's scoring a lot. He's scoring a lot. He's scoring a lot.
Right.
No, you got to pay attention to the way that he play and everything that he do, and he don't talk. He's humble. He shoot threes. He can score inside. He play defense. He block shots. He dunk. He rebound. He does it all. He's a good teammate on the bench.
Yeah.
Hey, we got practice tomorrow. He shows up. So I like those players that do everything.
Yeah.
And he looked good. And then this year, another one of your players, there's a couple of players, but the Niven kid looking good, man. He might need to go back and play. Somebody need to give him a job. He competes.
Yeah.
He just competes.
Yeah.
And I like him a lot.
That's been a revelation for us. I mean, he's super talented.
I'm doing all this talking. We actually play y'all next.
I know.
I just thought about that. I can't be naming who my favorite players is now. I got to play against them.
I know. That's a lot at stake in that.
Yeah.
But, we're running two teams for those that don't know. The Pedro's Posse Blue is our traditional team, the defending champions, and has a really loaded roster. The one guy I want to give a shout out to on that team, very much in the vein of Orlando Parker, is Cortez Edwards.
Everything.
Yeah.
Humble, quiet, just whatever.
And,
all right, Cortez, we want you to sit the bench today. Okay, no problem.
Yeah.
All right, we need you to be the man today. Okay, no problem.
Yeah,
I love him too.
Oh, he's one of those guys, man. I mean, he can have 2 points in the game. I mean, he might literally be averaging 3 or 4 points a game right now.
But he's
invaluable.
Yeah.
Absolutely
His
invaluable.
plus minus is always great.
Yeah.
But people don't pay attention to that.
No.
It's funny because you can't only like knowledgeable basketball people I think really understand the value of those type of players.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people that are just casual fans of it, they don't get it.
They don't get it.
They looking
They don't
for
get
more guys like Niven, and Niven's incredible. But there's value in these other guys that you got to see.
Yeah.
And then just kind of circling back, we have a gray team, which is really a lot of younger guys and old man be rich. And that group has been an absolute joy to be around. I mean, Niven to me is playing at league MVP level.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And killing it. And then we've had some young guys step up. We got a high school kid, Jaesun Smith.
Jalen Smith, I like Jalen.
Love that kid.
I always liked his game. Yeah.
And it's a lot of fun. The younger guys are getting good experience and exposure. But we were playing with Niven last night, and I'm like, do you got any you got some lines in the water, man? You need to be playing somewhere. There's too much there to be sitting.
And then all he's doing really is, with the type of talent he got, he's putting himself behind, and then they're going to take the player with the resume.
Yeah, you're right.
And he can be better than the player with the resume.
Oh yeah,
that's just. So he need to hurry up and probably try to attack that and get back playing again.
Yeah. I hope he does, because that's critical, man. And like you said, that resume is
what stopped him in the first place? Injury or just not sure?
Quick trigger. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna say. I felt like he made quick moves too quick because he's that good. Yeah, he had people in his ear like, no, okay, now it's time to go NBA, go, which is fine, But okay, now after you did that. You didn't get signed by an NBA team. Go straight to the G League because he's that good.
Yeah.
This kid is good, man.
Yeah.
I like him a lot. I like him a guy. But I feel like he could still get an opportunity because it ain't been too long.
No, it hasn't been. But the moment is hot for him to strike because, again, if he waits too long, it gets tougher and tougher.
It's going to get tougher and
tougher.
So
I'm really, fingers crossed, praying for him to get something going this season.
And the other question is, do he want to?
I think he does.
He wants to. Okay.
I definitely felt that, and I feel it like even stronger, like with each passing week. I think he's locked in. He's playing very well. He's seeing, where he's performing with other guys that are getting paid. And
so
it's
coming back. Yeah, I'm actually talk to him the next game.
I would appreciate that.
Yeah,
man.
see what I could do for him.
For sure.
So bias aside, who's got the best team? Who's winning it this year?
Oh man, he's gonna try to.
I said bias aside, man.
I mean,
okay, a team outside of your team.
Heart and soul.
A team outside of your team.
If we can't say heart and soul or either Pedro.
Yes, exactly.
I like if Polk County can just stay together and just actually go out there and play. They very deep.
Polk County there is talent, if not more than every team.
Yeah.
But they're a fragile mix. Fragile mix. They get upset fast.
Yeah, that's why I say playing together.
You're right.
And then the other teams, it's tough. I feel like everybody pretty much the same this year.
Yeah. I mean, the one team that I guess kind of surprised, but we didn't know what to expect is the Hooligans group.
Oh yeah, the Hooligans.
Yeah. They're like huge.
But the thing is, a lot of those players ain't gonna play every game.
Yeah. That's the thing. But
some gonna have to be on the East Coast for the Ballers Life stuff.
Right.
Is Chris Walker gonna play every game?
Exactly.
So I feel like when it start getting towards the end, they'll start breaking up. If they actually stay together.
But they're very interesting because of just kind of how big they are.
Yeah.
And they don't play
we
with
had to go
traditional
zone.
point guard. Yeah.
Chris was at the point guard. He's 6'9", 6'10".
Yeah. It's really an odd group to play, and so far it's been successful. But like you said, and again, in doing the Pro-Am and Men's League stuff, the biggest thing there is to winning the whole thing is who's playing at the end.
At the end of the season.
Like, you could have a great team, and your two top guys are missing during the playoff week. You're done.
Yep. Yeah. TBT about to start and summer league.
Exactly.
Somebody's gonna leave.
Yeah. A lot of people are gonna leave, and it's like last man standing.
So when that happens, this is why I like the Pedro teams, and I give a lot of credit to Juan and Pink. I like that. Okay, Ronaldo's leaving. We gotta put somebody just as good as him in that spot right away. They got these type of players. Yeah. And it's a success, and it's good because of the people who's actually building the team. Whereas though, like other teams, it's like, okay, if he leaves, we ain't even gonna put nobody else on the team. They're like, all right, the next man step. Okay, well now he left, so now we down to 7 players.
Right.
So it's just all about who's gonna be there at the end.
And I got to give a shout out to Juan. I mean, nobody works harder to assemble roster than him.
Yeah,
and
he's good at his
he
job.
just he's relentless with it and is constantly working and building relationships with people to that they'll be available to help us when we need it.
Yeah, he's the relationship king, man.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
He needs to help me with my relationships. but and then of course we have these 2K ratings that we'll put out, man.
So who was the highest rating player of the league?
The highest was Anthony that I saw.
Okay, that
which was
not
93.
NBA.
Not NBA. That would take some looking to
Some
get
looking
into,
at-
but
what was Blakeney?
It might have been
Antonio is 90. He touched the NBA for he had a cup of coffee in the NBA.
Niven had a 90 too.
Yeah, Niven had a 90.
I think Antonio and Niven each had 90, and Anthony was above that.
And then you got quite a few guys at the 89, 88s.
Yeah.
You got Dwayne Bacon, but he's NBA.
Yeah,
right?
played in NBA.
Yeah,
But
he put him in the NBA.
is
He's
he gonna
92.
play?
I don't even know.
I don't know, man. We haven't seen him yet.
Yeah.
Well, I haven't seen Anthony either, so.
No, we haven't. Yeah,
We'll see.
that Pope counted. Yeah, that's why they have so many players on that team because you just. don't know
How
who's
many
gonna show up.
88s and up they got on their
That
team?
they got on their team, 88s and up. They only have 3.
Really?
Scotty is an 89. Dominique is an 88. Dwayne is a 92, and that's it.
Man, they got Scotty over. Well, this is just a number.
Yeah, just
Not
a-
saying that Scotty's better than.
Yeah, that's what it's saying, man.
I guess
It's
that,
overall rating. So what it is, like
that's what I was confused about.
like I was telling Pink, it's your overall rating. So what it's supposed to be is supposed to be speed, athleticism, 3-point shot, mid range, free throw, all of that defense, all of that put into one number.
Scotty does more.
He does a lot.
Yeah, he does a lot.
Yeah.
does
He
a
was,
lot.
for me, newcomer of the year last year.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I hadn't
and
played him before.
he's taking like a. It's not a big of a splash as it was last year to this year.
Yeah.
Maybe he's more comfortable this year, and he's like
Or
not,
is it just that team?
Yeah.
yeah.
Because
more
who
guys.
was the
this
other
year.
MVP of that team that everybody was thinking was MVP was Capers.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Capers.
yeah.
So it's like everybody is like allowing somebody else to be the man
Yeah.
He gave Capers one of the lowest ratings the lowest rating that they
on that team.
For real?
out of the entire thing.
What
Nobody's
did he-
lower than the 80, and he's 80. Nobody's lower than the
Kevin
80.
Capers is
Yeah.
an 80?
And he's an 80.
Wait, let me see that.
You're joking.
I'm not joking,
You're
man.
joking.
That's insane.
That's it right here.
Will Lee, inbox me, Will Lee. I gotta know.
Kevin Capers 86.
Hold on, wait me see.
Right there. You,
Oh,
I'm
my
about to
eyes,
say,
my
yeah,
eyes.
I'm about to
my
say.
eyes. Oh, because they got two capers. No,
Marcus.
come on now.
Oh, so his
Yeah,
brother.
okay.
His brother.
Don't do me like that. I know I
his
saw
brother.
I saw capers.
Yeah.
That's all I saw. Was one
his
capers.
brother's underrated, though. I
Yeah.
like Marcus a
Yeah.
lot.
He's one of those players to be on the plus side because
Yeah.
of defense, rebounding,
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
stuff like that. He's a good player.
Kevin Capers is one of my favorites. We had him on the grade team a couple years ago.
Yeah, I love
that
Kevin.
guy,
Yeah,
Yeah.
I love
That guy,
Cape's game.
yeah.
Really good player. That's why I was like, hold up, Will Lee, please inbox
Yeah.
me. Something is going on. You gave him an 80.
No, I had the wrong capers.
I
man.
guess my one kind of critique of it, and I'm not a video game guy, but like to me the ratings are too tightly condensed.
Yeah.
All the players.
Yeah, it's like to me, like you typically go on there and like 90% of the roster is within 3 or 4 points. Like
Yeah.
86 to 84, 87 to 85. It's like to me there's just more disparity in players,
Yeah.
honestly.
I don't think Will did a good job. I don't know how long he spent on doing it as well. I know he probably tried to rush it out, being that a lot of the original 2K game is trending in the news.
Yeah.
So it made sense for him to make a 2K ratings on the Ace League.
Smart
So,
business
Yeah,
move.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Very, very smart.
business
He's
move.
got
So
plenty of those.
he probably rushed to get this out, but yeah, it's like it's not a disparity. Like you can't have the lowest guy being 80 and every,
And just
some
go
of the
up
better
from there.
guys are 84, 85. Like that,
Yeah.
it has to be a bigger gap in between.
Yeah,
those guys.
Your roster, our roster, it's like you there's a calibration
That's
amongst
a
the
cali-
guys,
yeah.
and you're
Yeah.
like, it ain't 1 point between these two guys.
These two,
you
so
know?
they basically the same.
Yeah. No, there's
Yeah.
a difference between these dudes.
But
Yeah,
Will,
for sure.
Will doing a good job with
No,
this,
no,
man.
yeah.
He
He's,
really brung the city out in the community, and
Yeah, no, nothing.
it's a privilege that he did this for us.
For sure.
It's
Because really,
awesome, man.
the Pro-Am died. The
It
city
died,
run
yeah.
Pro-Am died, and we
Yeah.
kind of had nothing
Going on.
until Will did this. And so, eternally thankful for him for creating this situation for all of us.
Yeah.
No,
for
for sure, man. All right, well that's good. The next game is y'all two.
Yep.
Yeah,
And then
Sponsored Gray against Heart and Soul.
it gets hard and so, and then the last game is the week following, which
That's
is
right.
Pedro Gray and Blue.
Yeah.
Oh, y'all play against each other?
Yeah. In the last game. Which
In the last game.
Last time we had the two teams, we played in the first game, which I kind of thought was
Mm-hmm.
ideal because at that point, you don't know any playoff implications. It's game one.
It's
Try to
game
win.
one, yeah.
But last game, I don't know. That's
that's
a little funky.
That's going to be a good game.
Yeah, because I mean, right now both teams are in position to make the playoffs, so we'll see what happens.
Who's this Travis McConnell?
he's-
I was gonna say.
yeah.
I'm
He
loving
He has a
him.
good rating.
I'm loving him right
I
now.
love that guy.
Yeah.
He
So
came
he's a
last
true.
year.
He's the definition of a true shooting guard. He's
Mm.
a true shooting guard. He's trying to guard. He's trying to defend. He's athletic. He shoots consistently, and it's off the dribble. It's catch and shoot. It's deep range, mid range. Like I like him a lot.
So a good 3D player.
I mean,
I
I was a bit
was-
more than that.
he's a bit more than that?
For me.
Yeah, he's
I
good.
love his pace of play.
Yeah.
I mean, he's never rushed. But he's not like artificially slow either. It's just right. He
Yeah.
just plays at the
Got
right
a good
tempo.
pace, yeah.
He's one of the guys in the league. I literally think you could drop on any of the 10 teams,
And
he
and
will.
they're
He's going to do the
super
same
happy
thing.
to have him.
Oh yeah.
He's
Yeah,
going to do the
yeah.
same thing.
Oh, okay.
I
every
picked
time.
up that last year when he played for Heart and Soul for the first
Yeah.
year in the A's. I was like, I like that guy.
And he doesn't complain nothing.
He seems like a genuinely
Yeah.
good dude. I've had limited interactions. But
Yeah,
I'm
I like
very
him.
positive.
Me as a his point guard, I like when my shooting guards interact with me like, oh my God, you just boy, how you see me over there in the corner? Knowing like, come on, bro, like that was an easy pass, but I like how you talk because I do that with my shooting guards and my bigs. Like, bro, like I ain't think you was gonna go catch that. Whereas though I know you was gonna go catch it because I put it in the right spot.
Yeah.
So
But
it
it's
shows
just
me
that-
that he's a pro.
Yeah.
You know, you got players that's good, you got players that's great, you got players that's a pro. He's a pro.
Yeah.
He's a pro.
What's the tall center's name? He's very skinny. He's a 7-footer for sure.
That's his best friend.
What's his name?
Is
he on
Reggie?
Reginald
Reggie,
Kissel.
yeah.
He's on.
What team is
He's
he
on
on?
Starving Wolves.
Yeah.
Who I don't think he rated Starving Wolves there.
Yeah, Starving Wolves is on
okay.
here. What's his name? You said
Reggie.
Reginald Kissel.
Reginald Kissel. Okay, he
Yeah.
got a good rating too, 87. Okay,
Yeah,
okay,
he's
okay,
good.
okay.
Yeah, I like him.
He's an overseas player as well.
Yeah,
Is
he did
Yeah.
good this year.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, he's
I
a
like
good
it.
player.
He's stretching his range out. We noticed that. Pink and I noticed
well,
that.
I mean, to be fair, if we talk about a progression, I was not a particular fan
Last year, I was not either.
I
I
thought
feel like
he
he's
was,
10 times better.
Yeah,
And it can do with the way that he played overseas. So now he came back like I was the man over here, and I'm about to be the man in the A's.
Yeah.
So he has like a different type of approach to the game this year.
I definitely
Yes,
caught
Last
that. I
year,
definitely
what?
caught that.
Block shots, rebound.
If that, actually, I know
yeah.
Rod
I dunk here and
got
there.
him on the Rod
Yeah,
got a good
I
dunk.
remember.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Sonny gave him the no look, and
The
Rod
no look
did.
at it, yeah.
And what I respect though, when Rod finished the dunk, Reggie went up and dapped him up.
He
after.
always
I was
having
like,
fun. You notice he's always smiling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But this year, I mean, he definitely
He's
took
playing.
a leap in his personal game,
Yeah,
man. He's very
playing.
good.
No, for sure. All right, then. That's good for the Ace League. Once again, man, Ace League, you guys check it out, Ace League Orlando. You can look it up on IG, Facebook. They have a website as well. You can catch the next games. It's right here in Orlando. Really great professional basketball players, man, right there, right here in the city.
And great atmosphere at the game. If
awesome
you come
atmosphere.
out, July 11 and 12, Monday, Tuesday next week.
Bring the
And
kids. Bring the kids.
Kids
Kids are
always
free.
They will love it.
Kids free. You can't beat that with a stick, man.
That's right.
Let's get to a quick musical break. Another one from Jaesun, man. Actually, Magic's cousin, right?
Yes.
Yeah, man. A good talent here, and he's also now in the city as well. So we'll get to that, and we'll be right back. You're on the Bench Podcast with Bubba and Pink. Man, which one did I play the first time? Let's see here. All right, we good.
Girl, you know how I feel about you. You know it ain't a thing that I won't do. You only have to say a word. Just say the word, I'll come through. Oh, you want it, girl, you got it. Anything to see you smiling, girl, you know that you the flyest. Rockin' all of that designer. Girl, you want it, I'll go buy it. If you need it, I'll provide it. Girl, just name it. Baby, just name it. Whatever you want is yours. Whatever you want is yours. Everything and anything. Whatever you need, girl, whatever you need. Whatever you want is yours. You can have the world, you can have the world. Like you're the only girl, yeah. Whatever you want is yours. You can have it all, we can have a ball. Girl, just say the word, yeah. Whatever you want is yours. You can have the world, you can have the world. Like you're the only girl, yeah. Whatever you want is yours. You can have it all, we can have a ball. Girl, just say the word, yeah. Whatever you want is yours. 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 You said that you keep imagining taking trips. I know you wanna get away. How about that sunset on the beach? Next to that water we could stay. Girl, it don't matter. Yeah, you know I got you. It's time for a vacation. Yeah, you know how I move. Girl, you want it, I'll go buy it. If you need it, I'll provide it. Girl, just name it. Baby, just name it. Whatever you want is yours. 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 You can have the world, you can have the world. Like you're the only girl, yeah. Whatever you want is yours. You can have it all, we can have a ball. Girl, just say the word, yeah. Whatever you want is yours. You can have the world, you can have the world. Like you're the only girl, yeah. Whatever you want is yours. You can have it all, we can have a ball. Girl, just say the word, yeah, yeah. The world,
Like going like this to the girl, like stop touching me.
You guys are back on the bench podcast with Bubba and Pink. What our man got Majic Dorsey. A little bit. We caught him on the tail end there. It's all good, man. Yes, you guys are back on the bench. What I wanted to do is quickly we can move to the NBA offseason and stuff like that. But I had a top 5 list, man. Top 5 list of the most disappointing super teams. All right, that's what this list is about. You can catch our other top 5s on our YouTube page. We got some interesting stuff on there. But let's get right to it, man. Top 5. All right, so number 1 is going to be the most disappointing of all time.
Oh, we're starting at the top and going down.
No, I'm starting at number 5.
Oh, okay.
Doing the traditional route.
Casey stuff.
And I'm going with the 03-04 Lakers, man, with my number 5 most disappointing super team. Now,
I like
That
that.
was what, Kobe?
That was Kobe, but they added Karl Malone and
Karl
Gary
Malone,
Payton.
Gary Payton.
Yes,
And then they ended
yes.
up losing to the Pistons
Yes. Now,
They lost in the finals?
in the finals.
In
So
the
is that
finals.
really a disappointment?
that's why they come in so high at number 5.
Okay.
Right?
Karl Malone broke down
Yes.
by the final.
By the-
And he
Wow.
retired
Yeah.
after that. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But Gary
Yeah.
Payton still had
And he caused
some
a little
tread on
mayhem
tires.
with Kobe's wife before he left.
Yeah.
Not the only mayhem he caused in his career. Karl Malone is he's a strange
he's
individual.
Different.
Different is the right word. Different is the right word.
But just like I guess the thing, like remembering that time, and the Lakers had the 3-peat in the bag already.
Yeah.
And they signed those 2 guys, and it just felt like the season's over.
Exactly.
Yeah, and that's the talk.
Yeah.
That was the talk around. This is a super team. These guys are going to walk through this NBA season, and and they got to the finals. So that's that's something to note. But and then right during that season, that's the sexual assault.
All that
Kobe
with
was
Kobe.
going through that.
That was that same season.
Same.
Yeah.
So they went through, it was a lot going
Yeah.
on
But
off
hey,
the court.
Eternal respect for Kobe for playing through. I'm a big playing through guy.
yeah.
Yeah.
Don't do Tiger Woods where you sit out, go to sex rehab. Just have
Yeah.
more sex and keep playing.
I like Peyton. You know, this is a side I never say to Peyton. I always say him in like straight
Coach mode.
like coach mode.
He's a wild guy on this show, man. That's the least thing he's ever said.
Yeah.
All right, so coming at number 4, we have the 2009 through 12 OKC Thunder, really, right? And this is why I have them on here, because they were somewhat young, but there was a loaded team, man, with KD, with Westbrook, with Ibaka, with James Harden. You know,
They were stacked.
Perks still had a little bit left.
The only qualm I have is I don't. When I think of super team, I think of a team that goes out and acquires
Acquire players.
high-end talent. You know, but that was an organically grown team. And
That was
I
all
just kinda
draft. That was draft.
Still
pick.
Yeah,
super.
I still feel it's kind of a different dynamic, honestly, just for me.
Yeah, how they came together,
But
you
that
know,
matters.
yeah. But if I give you one orange and one apple, and then over here I got one cantaloupe and one watermelon, there's still 2. You got 2, I got 2. It don't matter how you got it or what we're talking about. 1 plus 1 equals 2, no matter how you get there, my man. That's what I'm talking about. So through the draft or through free agency, it was still
a good team,
a damn
yeah.
good team.
Yeah.
And they had one finals run
They shouldn't have
throughout
broke
the
that
time,
team up.
and they shouldn't have broke
No,
it up.
that-
And they should have went into the luxury tax like teams are doing nowadays.
No.
The
To
owner
me,
was
that's-
scared to go into that.
That's the story of that team. is
Yeah.
that they had an organic super team, and they didn't have the financial balls to keep it together.
And even then, knowing that they were going to break it up, they made the wrong decision in getting rid of Harden instead of
Serge Ibaka.
Serge Ibaka.
Yes.
Because they felt like they had to make a decision between those two, and they just made the wrong decision, which, that just happens. That's, revisionist history there. I don't blame him. Serge Ibaka was a beast at defending the rim at that time. He could, they were
Step
entering the
out.
small ball 5, so I see where they were going with that decision, though.
Yeah.
All right, that's number 4. Coming in at number 3, I have the 2007 New England Patriots. All right.
Ooh, the
Yeah.
undefeated squad?
The undefeated squad, yes, that lost in the Super Bowl. Because
Was that with Randy Moss?
Yeah.
this was what,
How
yeah.
could you call I disagree with
That's
that.
a disappointing team. They didn't win at all. This is the team that was destroying the league.
Everything. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Randy Moss.
That was the helmet catch, right?
the one-hand catch. Yeah.
I don't know if it was either that season or the
No,
other.
it was the
Against
helmet
Giants.
catch because the other season it was Mario Manningham down
Yeah.
the sideline and Eli tucked
Oh,
that thing
Eli,
in.
Yeah.
No, that's it, dude. I disagree.
Why would you disagree?
Because I don't think that was a disappointment. I mean, they gave us an unprecedented season, and I know they lost the Super Bowl on the freaking helmet catch. But I don't. When I look at disappointment, I'm like, you guys were horrible below expectations. I just don't see it like that.
I see it because the team was super loaded, and you didn't get the job done, and you have all of those players in the near prime, and that's the only year we got out of that. You understand? Like Randy Moss went on to play for other teams. They didn't bring him back. They got how the Patriots do, man. They got rid of some of the other stars, the star corner.
I hate when they do
You know
that.
what I mean? And that was the only year of that super team.
I get
so,
it.
So
yeah.
so that was disappointing as well. So you know what I mean? It's other factors, not just not winning, but you only got 1 year of that super team.
Yeah.
I get it.
Alright.
I still just kind of fundamentally disagree, but okay,
Alright.
carry on.
Coming in at number 2. We're talking super teams, but this team was called the Dream Team, the 2011 Philadelphia Eagles.
Ooh.
All right, this is a team that, of course, was stacked, and they were supposed
Who was on
to
that team?
destroy
I
the
might
team.
have slept- I might have
So you
slept
got
through
Michael Vick
Mike
was the
Vick.
starting quarterback, but also Vince Young was the backup. All right, you
So
got
they were
LaShawn
solid at the
quarterback.
quarterback
You got LaShawn McCoy and Ronnie Brown. Ronnie Brown was a star with the Dolphins, and
Yeah,
then they
I
brought him
remember.
over
McCoy
as
was
a
the
backup.
leading rusher.
And McCoy was the leading rusher in the league. You got Deshaun Jackson over there and Jeremy Maclin. All right, you got Asante Samuel, Nnamdi Asomugha, who for some who don't
Oh,
remember.
that was the year they
supposed to be-
signed him.
Yeah.
He alone was a disaster.
Yeah, he kind of
My
fell off.
God.
He fell off.
Fell
after that.
off? He leapt off the freaking but Niagara Falls.
Because they were saying him or Revis, best corner in the league. Him or Revis. That, and then he went there, and then he kind of died. All right, maybe literally, I don't know.
Didn't he
they had
somebody from Hollywood though?
Yes, he
He
did.
cashed in
he did.
some high
he did.
quality
He did.
tag.
He did.
That's
Maybe
right.
that's what brought him down.
Could have been.
Yeah.
Was it Kardashian?
I wouldn't doubt it. They had a league record 10 players with 25 Pro Bowl appearances. All right.
Yeah, that
To this day, it's still
they
a
had a
league
nice team that year.
I totally forgot about that too.
Yeah, and they flamed out.
Spectacular.
Yes. So that's my number
So
two.
are you a Philadelphia Eagle fan also?
No.
Chiefs,
no.
the Chiefs.
Kansas
The
City Chiefs.
Okay.
Yeah. When I was young, I followed players. So Priest Holmes, Allen Iverson, Barry Bonds.
Okay.
So that's why
Yeah.
those are my three
Priest
teams.
Holmes. Ooh,
Priest
I ain't heard that
Holmes.
name.
That was my
Long
guy.
time.
That was my guy, man.
I did a double take the first time he told me that.
Yeah.
Was Priest Holmes.
Yeah, that's-
Yeah, that was
You
my
know
He
your
was a good
sports.
back, but he wasn't. I don't know. He just wasn't one of those guys that inspired fantasy.
Coming in at number one, the 2022 Brooklyn Nets, man.
Yeah.
The most
They're definitely
disappointing
number one.
super team of all time.
All right, the one omission I would make would be the Laker team with with Dwight and Steve Nash
No.
with Kobe. That team there was aspirations.
Nash was
and
somewhat, but Nash
Nash was hurt.
Nash was hurt and done.
Remember
and
he
so was Dwight, but like
Both of them.
but I measured by what was the expectation when they signed those guys, and you still had Kobe. You're like, this is going to be fantastic.
It's going to be they're going to be good,
and they
but
were,
not
they were bums.
But not that
But
they were
you-
going to like
But
dominate.
you're throwing teams that were
All
undefeated
teams-
until the Super Bowl in this.
Yeah, they were supposed to dominate and win it all.
Yeah, no.
I didn't think nobody thought of that of Kobe, Nash, and Dwight.
Well, that year I don't
Half
think
of
so,
LA
because
didn't
they
even want
both
Dwight.
was- Yeah, they both was hurt.
I
Half of
know.
LA didn't even want Dwight there. You know what I mean? But Nash was a welcome. Yeah, of course. You know Nash, 2 MVPs. But half of LA didn't like Nash prior to him coming because it felt like he stole the
He
MVP.
stole the 2 MVP.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get
Or
it.
one
but
of them
I-
at least.
Yeah, I just feel like when they assembled that team, it was with great aspirations, and they suck. That's why I think it fits better into your top 5 dream
We'll
teams.
stick
that
him in
failed.
an honorable mention. That's fair. I think that's fair.
Matt, do you have a team that jumps out to mind that we haven't discussed?
Well, there was Brooklyn Nets, and then I would say the team that the Lakers had this year. You know,
Oh,
but-
with the Russ.
The names,
Yeah,
yeah, the
just
names
the
for sure.
names and stuff
yeah,
like
yeah,
that,
Yeah, Melo,
but-
Westbrook.
Yeah, I would
LeBron,
just
AD.
say the Nets. I
Yeah.
thought that they would do more.
Oh, for sure.
A lot
sure.
more, man.
Yeah.
A lot more. And you know what? What's funny is what's different about this situation is I feel like every player sort of screwed them to a extreme degree, and all
Brooklyn
equally.
we're talking about?
Yeah, because James Harden in a fact that they gave up so much to get him, right? So that's hurting them now to where they gave away all of their picks just
All
for James
their
Harden.
picks. And
You know what I mean?
left anyway.
And he left anyway, and so they didn't get anything back. You know what I mean? Well, what they got back for James is Ben, who came over was healthy but not mentally, and then sat out, right? And that's sparring. Maybe if he plays and plays well, maybe Kyrie and KD have different mindsets. Hey, we can run this back.
Oh, we got our 14.
And we
Let's
got our
go.
14.
That was, I mean, when the trade was made, I didn't think it was terrible for Brooklyn. I'm figuring, well,
I didn't
you know,
either,
if
to be
Ben,
honest.
If Ben gets out of his own head and gets away from Philadelphia, he could be a nice fit.
Nice
Where he
fit,
wouldn't
yeah.
have a lot of pressure to score with those two great scorers.
Yeah.
And maybe
play
this
defense,
works.
rebound,
Yeah.
get out on a break, and
Yeah.
get the ball to your scores.
And then of course you got the Kyrie. We don't have to go down that road. We know how he affected that team. And then KD now with this trade request puts them in an awful position because Kyrie just re-signed, and then a week later, or maybe not even a week later, KD comes with a trade request, and that kind of that puts the team in a bad spot because they had already added Royce O'Neal. I want to say like the same day that the KD news came out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then now they have the guy from Indiana Pacers, the forward, TJ Warren.
Yeah.
So they kind of got a team to where if they did, if KD just changed his mind tomorrow,
They'll be okay.
they'll be more than okay.
More than
Yeah,
okay.
You know what I'm saying?
I mean, in a
So
couple-
do we tank? Do we tank and get picks for these guys? Do we try to get star players back? They're just in a bad spot.
Well, I mean, they still have the leverage, and that was like Brian Windhorst. A couple people were talking today. Like they don't have to trade these guys. They could hold their feet to the fire and say, "You're going to sit out a whole year because we're not going to trade you, or you're going to play. You're both here together. We're not going to trade either one of you. We don't have a terrible roster. If Ben shows a pulse, it's really kind of an interesting roster." But what they're reportedly asking for KD is not a tank package.
No,
they want an
right.
active
They
all-star.
want- Right, right.
And they
And
want
the
a
picks.
slew of picks.
Yeah.
And so they're not looking to necessarily tank.
Exactly.
And I do think, in a weird way, Ben is still an interesting wild card because if they move both of those guys, they're going to get some players and some assets, and you still have Ben, who, again, we don't know the current status
Still
of
an
him.
all-star.
But he's an all-star player.
Yeah.
And so, if you get an all-star for KD and some picks, you have an all-star in Ben, and you get something solid for Kyrie, you're not tanking.
Yeah.
You're not necessarily contending, but you're in that funky, realm of like, hey,
Situation,
it might work
yeah.
out. Who knows? Maybe we're a
Yeah.
4 seed.
Yeah.
So,
The bad part is it's just not a lot of great players on the market that's
Right now.
that they're whispering to be rumored. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, he wants to go to Phoenix, but and the DeAndre the Ayton thing doesn't work anyway because he's on a rookie extension. But even if it did work out, I'm not excited about Ayton and some picks. I'm just
Yeah.
not. For Kevin Durant, I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And then you got Utah, Donovan Mitchell, and some players and picks. I'm just not a Mitchell guy.
at all.
But
Let him
maybe
go to the Knicks or something.
yeah. You know what I mean?
Brooklyn.
No, but so I'm just not. It doesn't excite me any of the options there. So I don't know.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
maybe
the
best
one-
just run it
and I
back.
don't think Phoenix is going to do it, but if they, if they threw Booker and picks,
Yeah, they don't want to do that. Yeah.
I think that would if you
No, we're talking. We're
Yeah,
cooking.
yeah,
Yeah. We're cooking
But I
with a little
think
seasoning
that's
there.
Brooklyn's position.
Yeah.
With him under contract for 4 years, we don't have to cave on this.
Yeah.
We can hold the line until we get what we want.
And that's
It's
it,
not
yeah.
like he's a diminishing asset at this point.
Yeah. No, for sure. Quick question: if you're the Pelicans, would you throw Zion in there if you could? If everything worked
To
out.
trade Zion,
Yeah.
I wouldn't in a heartbeat.
You would in a heartbeat.
I have not been a fan of signing Zion to the money they're signing him to.
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Because his health record doesn't support it.
Yeah.
When he's played, he's been very good. Credit to him. But the health record's horrible going back to college, and his body type I don't like for long-term productivity.
2-3 years.
I did not.
But we
want
have
that contract
precedent.
at all.
We have precedent for that though. You got Embiid. You have a couple others that maybe that didn't work out.
Embiid's not a good comparison. Embiid is a better body type than Zion. I think more of like Larry Johnson.
Well, I'm talking about also sitting out for a couple of years. I'm not talking about player comparison. I'm talking about
the
him
2-3
not
years.
playing. Yeah, him
Trust
not
the
playing,
process.
and
Right.
then getting a contract because we
Right,
gave Embiid a contract. What, playing 10 games?
Yeah, no,
Maybe.
I get it, but what not the player for player comparison, but the body type analysis.
I understand.
Because I just think that
'Cause you're
he's
projecting
such
forward.
a freaky
Yeah.
combination of explosiveness and size. It's just odd.
It's odd.
And I think if you lose any of that, the
It's-
drop off's
your
going to
whole
be great.
his whole game will start changing.
Yeah.
Because now you got to say, okay, he's not playing above the rim. Now he got to cross people over and shoot step back fadeaways and stuff.
And that's what you want to pay, 4 years, 5 years, 230,
Yeah,
whatever.
and he's
I don't
not
like
that type of player.
No.
Yeah, I
he
don't
got to
like
get
that at all.
downhill and above the rim.
But he's still extremely young. So if you're in the front office, you're banking. Yeah, you can probably project that, and I'm sure they have guys projecting that to them.
But that's
you
why
expect the 4 or 5 years for him to be okay.
But when
It's
he was
a
at
gamble,
Duke,
though, yeah.
when he was at Duke, I was projecting about a 3-year window of elite
Yikes,
productivity.
that's short, man. Yeah,
I don't like the body, man.
Yeah.
You know, that's the thing. And it's just that, I thought we might get 3 years of freakish highlights, and then something's going to happen, and he'll kind of have to figure himself out as a below the rim
You
guy.
got to switch his game up a
what's-
little bit.
But Larry Johnson was freakish at the time with that.
Coming out of UNLV,
another
yeah.
guy, and he's not as big, but like Blake Griffin.
Blake.
And when he kind of piled up a couple of injuries and kind of became this below the rim guy, he tailed off from being like an all-star level guy to being a piece in the transaction.
7th player off the bench. 8th player.
He revamped this game.
He did, but it's
Shooting
but
threes
and what
now.
I'm saying, you don't want to pay max money
No,
for
For a player like
revamped
that.
No.
Zion or a revamped Blake.
No,
I agree with that.
That's,
I agree.
That's my
No.
But to circle back though, I mean, if Brooklyn would accept Zion,
Yeah,
for
and
Durant.
some picks. Yeah,
Make the team.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
Yeah,
great,
I will have to make that deal.
yeah, make that deal too.
Yeah.
Even though KD's 34.
Yeah, but I
Yeah,
still
but what are we
trust.
trying to get out of him? 3 years?
Yeah, I still trust.
3 years. I'll take Kevin Durant
I'll
for
take
3
that.
years.
I'll take
Yeah,
that.
yeah, I'll take
that.
And I think that the bet is this: do we have a higher chance of getting really good KD for 3 years or really good Zion for the next 3 years?
That's
And
an
I don't
awesome
care
question.
how old they are.
That's an awesome question.
And I'm banking on KD.
That's an awesome question.
For
Yeah.
the next 3 years, I'm banking on KD.
Yeah.
Over him.
I think we got a clean sweep on that. What do you guys think about the Timberwolves getting Rudy Gobert?
So when I think of that situation, I think of the hooligans.
Yes. And
I think they trying to bring it back to having a bigger team now.
Yeah.
there are market inefficiencies, and so if the whole league is trying to do one thing, you can gain by kind of doing the other. And
The
I think
opposite.
that's what Minnesota's banking on. They're going to be just super big and
Yeah.
super long and really talented. I love Anthony Edwards. He's one of my absolute rising star guys. And then I have my issues with Karl Towns, but you're going to create a team where his, to me, flaky mentality might not matter as much because
you got
Edwards
somebody
is
else,
a dog,
yeah.
and Rudy's going to do
Protect
Rudy
that
for
rim.
better or worse. And now that whole team, and how big are you with Towns offensively spreading the floor, but defensively all
Yes.
that length?
And then you got D'Angelo just do it. Just run the team.
6
bro.
man of the year. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just run the team.
Yeah.
He's going to have a great season.
It'll be an adjustment and a little bit of a clunky fit at times, but I like the idea. I like the concept, but we're going to go different.
Every team that beat them, they're going to have to really make every shot.
Yeah.
Because we
Not
get
getting
those
no boards.
rebounds. Yeah. Getting those rebounds when we
And
out.
it's
no
gonna,
boards.
and it'll be that thing like you're playing 3, 4, 5 games in a row against kind of similar concept teams, and then then you're playing them, and it's gonna be different.
Yeah.
It's almost
They
like
just
you
gonna
go back
pound
to
on you.
old days football of suddenly you play the triple option team.
Yeah.
After playing a bunch of other types
Other
of stuff.
type, yeah.
They're gonna be that curveball.
Yep.
Now the question, you don't spend the money that they're spending to be the 4th seed in the West. You're trying to win something. I don't know if that's a championship winning scenario.
Yeah.
I think they'll win their share of games, and I think they have a lot of talent, and they'll be
But
a
not
tough
top
fit.
3.
That's
Yeah.
why I
That's
think
what I agree.
that's why I think it's a god awful situation.
Yeah.
They get rid of some of their depth, and then also you're paying, like you say, you're paying so much money. Okay, so you haven't even paid Edwards yet,
Yeah.
right? And you're already at your limit right now as a team, and you haven't paid Edwards yet,
Yeah.
right? And then you just extended Karl Anthony Towns last week to a max extension, and you're just going to use him as a stretch forward.
Stretch forward.
That's it.
Yeah.
The little Gallinari, Dario Cyrus. That's what he's going to be. Because he's not going to be able to be anywhere else.
But the other way,
And he's no defensive. He's no defensive presence. So.
Yeah.
I do want to say this while we're on the topic. I love the Celtics moves. I
Oh,
love
Brogdon.
They
and
got
Gallinari.
Yeah.
For that group, you look.
Yeah.
They have like 10 dudes
Yeah.
that
10
can play
NBA guys.
in any kind of setting. really.
Playoff moments. Yeah.
Yeah, I that's a
got
a
better.
nice team. That was
Definitely
really
got better.
good.
They got
Definitely
better.
got better. Because we didn't want to see Smart is awesome, but we've seen what that looks like with him running point guard 100% of the time. Well, you kind of want him out in free space so he can just do his thing and not have to worry about setting up the offense as much, and you get to take the ball out of Tatum's and Brown's hands, so they're not making as many mistakes as they did because they were turnover machines. In the
Yeah, well,
finals.
it's like with a 10-man unit like that. Like my big belief in playoff basketball is that over the course of 3 or 4 series to win a championship, you're going to have to win and play in all different ways. And just that overall versatility, and they can be that team where it's like, Marcus Smart's going to have a handful of great games. He's also going to have a couple stinkers, but Brogdon's going to play 30 minutes instead of 20, and we're going to scale back, and we just have answers. Gallinari's not going to necessarily play a ton
of minutes,
but there'll be a handful of games and potentially playoff games where he's decisive. In some way, he's a guy you hate. Tatum's not hitting, whatever. We play a little stretch out with
And
5
he'll
out
knock
with
it
that,
down.
knocks them down, and all of a sudden we win a quarter and we turn a game.
No, exactly, man. Any other off-season moves that stand out to you guys as we closing out here?
we talked about it last. I don't like the Brunson move. I like him as a guy, as a player,
to
but
the
the
Knicks.
money.
But that's
and
one of
the
those
thing.
situations of he know the right people.
Right, exactly.
His daddy coached for them.
They hired his pops a couple
Yeah.
months ago, a few months ago. You kind of like
It's
you
almost,
saw
like
the
a,
writing
it's
on the
almost
wall.
like a college move. Well, like, as a coach.
Yeah.
So we can get this,
Yeah.
just so we can get Brunson. This is
Yeah.
the lengths we're going to. But you know,
that's a good situation for him. He fell into the right situation.
yeah.
The only thing we talked about this last week is I don't think the Nets are poised to be or Knicks are poised to be particularly successful, and he's going to be the guy that's going to take the heat because of the deal he's got.
Yep. They're gonna throw everything on him once the team start tanking.
and that's not going to be good for him.
Well, Randall's happy about that because
Somebody else take this heat.
Somebody else gonna get a piece of it.
yeah, somebody else gonna get a piece of
Yeah.
it.
I mean, Randall though, he was so good that first year in New York, and then last year,
Because he couldn't deal with the heat.
yeah.
That's
but
what I think it
I'm
was.
thinking he may not be far from Ben Simmons territory.
Yeah.
With
What
just-
mentally?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He might crack.
I think he just need to get out of there.
You're right. But if he
Yeah.
doesn't get out, he might crack.
He might crack. Yeah.
You know. And I haven't heard much about
I haven't
no
about
moves
how
to
he's
get him out of
no,
there.
no, 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 no.
So I think
Nobody's going to take that contract after his performance last year. I mean,
Yeah.
that's an albatross
he's
of a
in
contract.
a
Yeah.
tough situation.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, you guys have been on the bench, man. On the bench podcast with Bubba and Pink. What I got, Majic Dorsey, man. Magic, we appreciate you, man.
I appreciate y'all having me on
Yeah,
the show.
thank you for coming
This was
in.
nice. This was fun.
Have you signed your next contract yet, or you
I
still
haven't yet.
deliberating?
I'm just debating right now.
yeah.
But I always try to wait till August, September to start making moves because a lot of deals start coming on the table around August, September.
Okay.
So me, I always pick places where as though it's like a vacation. If the weather is good, you know.
Who wants to freeze their butt
Yeah,
off?
that's where we're going.
Have you decided that coaching is definitely where you're going afterwards? After your
I'd
career?
rather be an agent.
Oh,
Right
okay.
now, the 2 times that I've been coaching, I've been actually successful, coaching the kids and stuff like that. But you gotta have a lot of patience coaching. I don't think that's really something I want to do.
Don't get this guy started. back there.
Yeah, I'll rather just help people and put them in situations to win.
Now, I would say one of the challenges for a person coming from your place of coaching is that you can do a lot of things innately and well, and you're going to struggle because the people you're coaching can't.
Can't, yes.
That's a challenge. Me,
Yes.
I don't have that problem.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, it'd be a tough situation.
We'll catch you guys next week, man. Appreciate you.
All right,
Thank
we're out.